Okay. Hey, what's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Let me close this up real quick. I decided to stream again. No real big reason. Just figured I don't know how long it's gonna take me to get the video out, so might as well stream for a bit. Maybe rack up a little bit of revenue while I'm streaming. That's fine though. Where the oh, here it is. At everyone, I am live. Okay, there we go. How you guys doing today? How is your midweek? I had a bit of a busy day, all things considered. I'm actually, streams be relaxing as fuck. Hey, what's up, brown pants? Really, you think they're relaxing? I'm happy you feel that way. I'm gonna have to grab some scans. What is it, 552? A little bit before that, actually. When does he... Okay, so we're actually gonna go a little bit farther back then. But I can't complain. Lovely. I absolutely love to hear that. We back with this one? Yep. Okay. Okay. So... he's taking revenge on Konoha. Still taking. Itachi. Madara. I'm a lot stronger than when I fought Pain. Okay. So I'm going to need a couple of these statements. I wanted to ask something real quick. In the One Piece cover stories, Enel is able to create a visible explosion on the moon. Where does that scale him? I have no clue, dude. The thing about the One Piece verse is that, like, it's a bit difficult to really say. It's a bit difficult whether or not to say that, like, the moon that they're on is, like, the size of our moon. From my understanding, like, different moons, in this case celestial bodies, usually have, like, different sizes, comparatively. I don't know what exactly would confine... Because, okay, so let me slow down. It's a situation where, like, if you want to assume that it's visible within the outline of, like, let's say, celestial body that's the size of our moon, I don't fucking know, dude. I don't usually go by physics calc, so something being that large or visible would probably... I mean, he's able to generate enough energy to, like, blast away an entire country, but that was with the Arc Maxim. So you might be able to argue that, like, if NL hasn't gotten any stronger going into the moon, then you could probably just make the argument that, like, it's anywhere below country level. How's everybody doing, though? How you guys? 549 P5. So I'm collecting some research now for Naruto and B. I decided to finally start writing the script again. I got about almost another page. I'm not stressed, man. I'm just handling shit. Life also, life be taking some priority sometimes. I can't say my day was, like, stressful. It was just a lot of, like, walking around I had to do to run a lot of different mail. Did you guys know that, like, priority mail costs fucking $32? That shit is expensive as all hell, man. No, I'm feeling good. Like, in terms of, like, here's the thing. I'm always stressed. Like, it's just a part of me. Yeah, mail prices are absurd. I'm someone who's, like, always stressed, though. Like, it's not something that, like, you guys should, you know, be worried about or anything. I'm someone who's, like, always stressed out about something, so, I'm fine. I'm chilling. I think I got, like, a bit more, like, clarity, at least for, like, the video going into it now. I think that, like, yesterday's, considering yesterday's, conversation, I actually ended up, feeling a bit more... I feel like maybe confident would be the word for, like, where my thought process for the video. I guess being able to verbalize publicly on stream does help me out quite a bit. I was actually trying to recently quantify, or at least potentially quantify, Naruto's potential attack potency. Do you think Killer Bee should have died when Madara took the 8 tails? I'll be honest, I like Killer Bee as a character, but he's not someone that, like... He's not someone that, like, matters. Like, I think if, like, you were to, let's say, mark characters in Naruto that are, like, essential, characters that are, like, important to the plot, characters that, like, the story can't move around, characters that are side characters, but their inclusions are, you know, good and whatever. Killer Bee kind of falls in, like, this weird line where, like, Naruto doesn't get to past maybe like a point or two in the war without him, but also, like, you know, from a certain point onward, Killer Bee is just he's not the star of the show anymore. He's not relative to Naruto. He's sort of just doing stuff with other people. He's doing his... They kind of, like, went their separate sides to, like, what they need to do. It's kind of weird. Random question. What do you think is pretty underrated character power scaling wise? I think Odin doesn't get enough credit. I'm starting to think that the fucking admiral, the vice admirals aren't getting enough credit. I'm gonna be real with you. Eustace Kid doesn't get enough credit. Law doesn't get enough credit. Fujitora and even Green Bull don't get enough credit. It's crazy to hear that, like, even, like, some admirals, like, again, it's crazy to hear that, like, some admirals, while I don't think they are as strong as Yonko, I do think that, like, people obviously underestimate them. Maybe because of, like, preferences when it comes to, like, you know, the original 3 admirals versus the following 2, but it's fine. And B surviving kind of creates some story issues. Not necessarily, depending on how you're willing to view it, because the issue with B more so surviving isn't so much of a case of, like, well, it's bullshit, why the fuck did he walk out of that without... how the fuck did he survive? I guess would be the correct question. How the fuck did B survive? But then, I think that, like, if you consider it from, like, the perspective that, like, all you really need is Tailed Beast Chakra to keep the Jinchuriki alive, I think it's fine. I don't see an issue with it, at least in my opinion. There was a tentacle of the 8 tails somewhere around, so all he had to do was just grab it. Let me just fix that real quick. So let me ask you guys a question. I think I've asked this before, but I do want to just get a perspective for you guys. Now, remember that in the Pain arc, Naruto is at least narratively implied to have surpassed Jiraiya, in this case Sage Jiraiya, by the time that he acquired Perfect Sage Mode, right? My question is base Naruto War Arc first half War Arc relative to Sage Jiraiya? Yes. Stronger, weaker. I don't want to get into, like, the semantics of, like, slightly stronger, slightly weaker. You guys can mention that on your end, but I have reasons for this. Again, base Naruto versus Sage Jiraiya. I guess, but it feels weird that you can easily survive by just doing that. Yeah, I mean, I think, like, the 8 tails is, like, probably the only tailed beast where, like, it's potentially possible. It's the only tailed beast that seems to consistently lose parts of its body. Like, when the Shikaku's, like, body parts break off, it basically just turns into sand, so I think it does, at least. Might be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that entirely. Base, okay, Jiraiya, I guess? Yeah, base Naruto from the War Arc. Like, do you think that Naruto could output the same amount of power in his base form as Sage Jiraiya can? So, I'm trying to, like, find a way to, like, properly quantify how powerful Naruto really is. you could probably try to make some kind of an argument that, like, you know, uh, Naruto, by the time that he fights Kurama, should be somewhere around, like, that mountain busting or beyond range or whatever, because, I don't know, the Rasen Shuriken can hurt Kurama, and Kurama can tank a fuck ton of moves or some shit. I don't know, man. The thing here is that I'm trying to find like a proper gauge, because there is a scan I will get to later. Well, I guess it's at the end of the war arc. I gotta say probably not. That's fair assumptions. What VAs are fighting on, what Vice Admirals are fighting on Turtle Islands? The Egghead, 5 of the Egghead Vice Admirals. 5 of the Egghead Vice Admirals. I decided that, like, they are probably, at least in my opinion, some of, like, the better Vice Admirals to use, considering that I have more feats for them to go off of, specifically with, like, Bluegrass and, Doll, and Red King, which is the guy with, like, all the fucking necks. What's up, hey Con? What's up, man? 551, P3. Ooh. Oh, Doll Wash is pretty sure she one-shot a giant. Yeah, so it's a bit interesting. Again, there's a conversation to be had here. Hey, what's up, Ryoshu? You're alive? Lovely. Love to hear that. Give me... You know what? I don't think I need anything from this fight. Funny enough, I really do not think I need anything from this fight specifically. I'll probably just finish off this chapter, but I really do need to, you know, try to get through as much of this as possible. What are your thoughts on Kizaru versus Big Mom? I mean... Big Mom is arguably physically tougher than Luffy, and Kizaru could at best scratch Luffy, but I can also argue that Luffy's faster than Big Mom. How does he put her down is my question. How do you guys think he puts her down? I don't know how he puts her down. Like, in terms of raw damage output, I have no idea how he puts her down. The thing about, the thing about, like, the admirals is that while I'm not gonna say that, like, Eustace Kid or Law deal more damage than they do, at least respectively, Law does have an attack that directly bypasses durability and targets the soul, and Eustace Kid uses brute force, two things that Kizaru does not use. You might be able to make an argument that if Kizaru, like, constantly accelerates himself as fast as he can to, like, hit Big Mom, that it would deal massive damage. I'm not saying that that's not that's not impossible. I do think that that's actually very much probable, but the issue with Big Mom is that, like, a lot of the damage that she was taking was both from the inside and the outside, and while you could probably make the argument, I mean, if you'd like to at least, that, like, Kizaru is stronger than either Kid or Law separately, I don't think he's as strong as the two of them combined. I mean, they beat a Yonko, he hasn't. What do you think Sukuna and Gojo's bounty would be if they were in One Piece? 300 probably is anywhere between, like, 150 to 300 million berry. There's no way I can put him in the billions. There's no way you can put him in the billions. Like, if I were to, like, it might even be, like, a bit wank to say that, but I do feel like, considering Gojo's capabilities and how probably hard it would be for a lot of people to try to bypass it, yeah, I'd say around, like, the 100 million berry bounty wouldn't be, like, egregious. Kind of weird scaling, though. VAs get one shot by giants, yet Doll one-shots one. Yeah, I think well, the thing is that, like, not all giants are, like, respectively as powerful as one another, right? Like, you can definitely make the argument that, like, Dory, Bragi are, like, stronger than the average giant, and they're stronger than the average giant pirate, and you can argue that, like, the giant pirates are stronger than, like, what's his face? The guy that got, I think Kashi or Oimo, one of the guys that, like, got taken down by her. Hey, what's up, Mr. Pillow? Hope you're doing good, man. Hope you're doing good. Isn't bounty based on how much of a threat they pose to the world government, not how powerful you are? It's a bit of both, actually. I've recently read the manga page that alluded to that. It's mostly how much of a threat you are to the world government. That is true. But Sukuna would also, but it's also depending on, like, how dangerous you are, and, like, I'll give you an example. Eustace Kid was one of the few pirates that actually had a bounty higher than Luffy, and the only reason that was the case, even though he wasn't as big of a threat as the world government, was because he attacked civilians. In Sukuna's case, he would be actively killing people. He would be actively killing, and in this case, and in his case specifically, eating people. Still, they were literally stomping on them, not even really attacking. That is also a good point. 552 P7. I'll just leave it here. I don't really care. Okay. Oh. Okay. I do have to take all of this. How high would you rank KCM, One, Naruto, and Ichigo, and currently in the their bounties? Okay, so what is actually I'll give you an example right now. Naruto, I can definitely easily see him at like I could definitely see Naruto at the very least like KCM1 Naruto, I could definitely see him at like 300 million. I could definitely see Naruto at like 300 million. Maybe Ichigo 3 to 400. Like Naruto and Ichigo, I can definitely see anywhere upwards of like 3 to. I'll say KCM2 Naruto, and that's not to like, again, not to like wank Sukuna or Gojo or anything. I did say like 150 to like 300 million for them. I'll actually say KCM1 Naruto like around like, yeah, like the 200 million. Same with like Ichigo, but like at their highest extents, Naruto and Ichigo, at least where I'm at right now, 300 million to 500 million for Naruto, and where I'm at with Ichigo, like, yeah, around that 150 to like 300 million. Hey, what's up? Well, okay, so I'm about to get to, like, the point that I was really trying to come across. So, there's a reason why I actually brought up this poll, right? There's a very good reason why I brought up this poll, and it's because, when Madara gets revived, I know it's 5:53. I'll just move on ahead. I don't think I have to care. Okay, we'll just keep moving on ahead. It's gonna take a while. Yeah, this was just gonna take a while for me. I don't really care about any of this other stuff. Okay. Okay, Madara gets revived, right? So, this is a... Is it a super or is it a Chodama? Fuck. What? Does anybody know what episode Madara first appears in? Actually, I got it. Madara versus Ninja Platoon. I'm gonna have to look that up. Would you agree that logically speaking, Luffy's bounty should have been higher after pre-time skip? Sure, he didn't even know hockey, but physical strength isn't the only quantifier for threat level. It depends on how you want to go about it, because 1 second, I'm looking for a specific scene. Okay, right here. Okay, so that is a massive Rasengan. Okay, that is a massive Rasengan. That's all I needed to know. That's all I needed to know. Okay. So, as you guys may have been able to ascertain, this is a massive Rasengan. I knew it wasn't wrong. The reason why I bring up Naruto and Jiraiya, at least early War Arc Naruto, yes, that is a clone. But first, let me actually answer your question, Mr. Pillow. I think it was dependent, because... Yes, realistically, Luffy's bounty should have been much higher. I assume that, like, maybe the world government just didn't... I feel like the world government maybe just didn't realize that, like, okay, well, this kid... Or maybe the 5 elders did. Depending on, like, what the threat level of someone like Luffy is. Granted, I don't think that at any point prior to Enies Lobby would they have had an eye out for Luffy. But under the condition that, like, if they did give Luffy some kind of a bounty based on the actual danger that he poses to the world government, granted, I'm not sure whether or not they would have ascertained, at least by that point, that Monkey D. Luffy could awaken the Nika fruit, but, they probably would have. I do believe that, like, I think this is more or less a case of, like, them, or at least you could make the argument that this is more or less a case of, like, them assuming that if it hadn't awakened in 800 years, there's be no reason for it to awaken now. But considering the things that Luffy was pulling out during the war, especially, not just, like, the war arc, Enies Lobby, taking out in a warlord, etc., it's like, 2 warlords, actually. It's like, yeah, they probably should have upped it. For scaling, especially with the Vice Admiral, since they... With the 3 billion bounty, I mean. Wait, my assumption would be that you want to take attention off of Luffy, so they also tried to remove the D, but Morgan printed it away anyway. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they did. Here's an interesting one. Who do you think would have a higher bounty, Saitama or Light Yagami? Fucking Saitama, dude. That guy. Actually, no. Saitama wouldn't really, like, cause any issues. Light Yagami, or at least Kita, would probably have a massive bounty on his head. A larger bounty, all things considered. But it'd be, again, based on, the potential threat level to the world government, whereas Saitama... He would actually be rather docile, and I don't think he would ever actually go for civilians. CBs can survive the Knockup stream, which ripped an island in half. Meanwhile, the VA's one-shot. Yeah, so I'll actually get to that, Jake. I will definitely get to that in just a second. I know what you're... Well, you started streaming at the worst time for me. I was driving. Hey, 6, you can drive? I didn't know that. That's cool. Okay. Let me get through some of these with the Giants. I'd like to say the difference in scalings between like Admiral Greenbull and Admiral Kaino, where Shanks and Buggy as Yonko, only tiers of a wide... All tiers... Yeah, like all tiers do have a wide range in power. I don't think it's as like simple as just saying like somebody is Yonko level, because when people use the term like Yonko level, I feel like they're like putting them on like the same pedestal as like someone like Kaido and shit, which... I just would not agree with. I was going back through Egghead. Doll was one of the few VAs with Sandjoy Boy's Hockey Blast longer than most. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, that's one thing that I haven't been able to properly figure out, like if I should really weave it in to the video, because I don't know, like I don't know how much more that really adds, all things considered. Rather, it is impressive given the context. Ichigo jumps to Uni to low multi in the span of 3 arcs. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. I don't like that. Naruto should be at least Yonko Commander 1 level. He probably opposed the world government. At this point? No, he's definitely not Yonko Commander 1 level. I would disagree with that wholeheartedly. Later on in the series, 100%. KCM 2, he'd be like... Honestly, with KCM 2 plus Sage, I'd actually put him somewhere around like Queen. I'd definitely put him somewhere around like Queen. Out of the Queen or like, I guess, Cracker. Out of the VAs, in that case, she's probably top 3 in terms of strength. 100%. No, 100%. Actually, I'm only really going to be talking about 3 of the Vice Admirals. I just didn't have, like, anybody else to talk about besides, like, because Doberman is just going to be staying back, like, just chatting up and shit, and the only other one I have is, like, Pomsky, who turns into that otter, transformation, which is, he didn't do anything. Imagine being the only ninja that traded blades with Madara slightly longer than others. I'd brag about that for a while. Oh, 100%. 100 fucking percent. Don't Naruto's Rasengan get calculably stronger in later arcs, so do they have anything that scales them higher quantifiably as the arcs pass, or is his DC through the story consistent? Well, it's more or less of a case of like, okay, so there's definitely an argument that like Naruto's Rasengans do become more powerful. That's actually one of the things that I've been trying to I've been trying to figure out myself. There's nothing inherently that says that like the Rasengan, or at least like a regular Rasengan itself, is any more powerful than like the other versions, maybe besides like Naruto's quality, chakra quality and control maybe improving. You could definitely say that like maybe the amount of chakra you can put into like a regular Rasengan's greater, but to like increase its overall output. But it's one of those like, is able to use advanced armament hockey. How much does that change? Does it say that? The fuck? When does it say she knows advanced armament? The wiki? Doll. Yeah. Give me 1 second. I gotta look this up. Rokushiki techniques, physical. Oh yeah. Imbues. Oh yeah. She uses the advanced application. Yeah. This is the advanced application emission. She uses advanced application emission. Yeah. Do you think Bungus could beat Naruto? Unfortunately, Bungus is only immune to fire. He is just, well, besides the fact that I took him behind the shed, so I don't think it really matters. Okay. There's a reason why I asked this question, and it is specifically because Naruto hits Madara with a not a super Odama Rasengan, a massive Rasengan. Madara is able to tank the attack with a Susanoo ribcage. Granted, he had to blow it away by activating his larger Susanoo. Now, I think it's important to bring this up. Who the fuck is Bungus? Don't worry about Bungus, bro. Don't worry about Bungus. Now, the reason why I bring this up is actually because this is this feat right here where Naruto throws a Sage Amped Rasen Shuriken. I actually have to like write that in. Okay, it's a Sage Amped Rasen Shuriken. A Sage Amped Rasen Shuriken was actually more powerful, like way more powerful than just a regular than just a base clones in quotation marks, a base clone Naruto's giant massive Rasengan. There's actually a very important distinction here that I think should be made, and it's mostly just that like It's actually this feat right here. So the reason why I actually compare Naruto to Jiraiya is because it's stated that like Jiraiya is capable of carving away at mountains with his massive Rasengan. If Jiraiya is able to carve away mountains with his massive Rasengan, granted again it's not massive DC, but it is, you know, overall attack potency considering it, again, carve them away. It would at least put it within like, let's say like the lower tier ranges of like lower tier to like mid ranges of like mountain level, right? Which is a good way to start off, at least for like Naruto, especially in his base form. How much then he can amplify himself kind of depends, because we know for a fact that Sage Mode is at least a 10 times amp, but we don't know how much KCM is. The reason why I really do bring this up, though, is because in this feat right here, as a comparison as well, Naruto, when he activates Sage Mode, it creates a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 26 Rasengans. He creates 26 massive Rasengans to push away Kurama. Now, they don't necessarily seem to deal as much damage as the Rasen Shuriken that he hit Kurama with prior. The panels here don't show it, but there was a previous panel from the chapter prior to this, or at least the chapter after he had tagged Kurama, that he actually had some marks on his body. It's someone Eon brutally shot and is not sorry for. I said I took Bungus behind the shed. I never said I shot him. Damn, those are some crazy ass allegations. Anyway, so that's 26 massive Rasengans, and yet Naruto with a single Rasen Shuriken was actually able to fully push Kurama out. Now, there's two ways of looking at it, which is a Rasen Shuriken is about 26 times stronger than is at least 26 times stronger than like or more potent than a massive Rasengan, which I think is pretty fair, or at least it's 26. It's about as powerful as 26 of these things to combine the shit to do what? Don't worry about what. Do not worry about it. You listen. Why do you guys care so much about fucking Bungus? Bungus didn't do anything for you guys. He didn't do jack shit for you people. So why the fuck you guys care so much about Bungus, man? You guys care too much about Bungus, man. Don't worry about it. What do you think Madara's bounty would be? Definitely around. Madara's bounty would definitely be at least 1.5 billion. He would definitely be at least like 1.5 billion by the time like he's like the 10-tailed Jinchuriki. No way he's not at least 1.5 to 2 billion. I would not put him at like 3 billion, but I definitely put him at like 1.5 to 2 billion. You guys worry too much about fucking Bungus. Bungus was... Yeah, you guys used to be worrying about the bullshit. Alright. Anyway. What is this? 560 P13. Yeah. I need this. And yeah, he says too much energy and then he absorbs it, right? It also kind of is consistent here, especially since the Master Rasengan he tried to hit Madara with was used in his base form. Yeah, it was used in his base form, and Madara eventually does completely overpower that. You want to hear about what makes Black Clover planet bigger than the sun? Sure, tell me what makes Black Clover bigger than the sun. Sure, 560, P8. From what I hear, the interpretation of KCM is not that it's a multiplier, but rather it's added power, meaning it's just a whole bunch of chakra. I mean, it is just a whole bunch of chakra, but I don't want to say it's not a multiplier, because Naruto's abilities do massively increase because of it. So, it might just be added power. It might not entirely be incorrect, but I don't know, man. Naruto would at least need KCM or his own Sage Mode for Sage Mode Jiraiya. I mean, he would definitely be stronger than Sage Mode Jiraiya. He would be, like, objectively stronger, but I do think that, like, the gap was kind of closed. Or at least the gap was, like, a lot closer after, especially like base to like Sage Mode after the Pain arc, because Naruto just becomes stronger. Like Naruto just straight up gets stronger. Bungo's hit by Eon's 5 Mang of Doom and Despair and everything unfair. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Okay, is that it? No, it's 560. Okay, I do have 40. Okay. Other than that, I don't really have, like, a very good idea of... besides that, like, I really don't have, like, a much better idea of what I could use to, like, quantify how strong Naruto really is. Do you even know what Mang is? No, I don't know what Mang is. I really don't. Madarame SME level. Madara SME level like Katakuri. It's a power system, just ignore it. Alright, no worries. 561 P1. To make a small breeze cut off a powerful creature. Oh, that's kind of crazy. Quick detour. Anyone excited for Silk Song? Yeah, are any people here excited for Hollow Knight Silk Song? It's definitely finally coming out, which is pretty surprising. I'm not a fan of Hollow Knight. I tried it for like 5 minutes. I could not get past the first like 10 minutes of the game, and I was like, all right, you know, this is definitely $20 well spent. Ha. But you know, I'm happy for the people that are finally getting their game. What are you going to do about the second one? Okay. Excuse me. I have to, let me... Oh, excuse me. So it takes 24 seconds to reach the Clover capital? Wow. It's pretty big. Is it stated that he travels at the speed of light when he did that? Oh, he rushing at the speed of light. Alright, then. That's fair. Small island meteor, no keys, bum ass cracked his head against... By the way, damn. I don't know about small meteor, but yeah. Couldn't get past 10 minutes. Admitting to being a bum is crazy. Listen, I've beaten Souls-likes. I'm a gamer with a hard R. I told Mom to get the camera when I beat Millennia, alright? I am good at video games. I'm no bum, alright? I'm pretty excited. Hollow Knight definitely isn't for everyone. I've tried to get into Castlevanias, man. I tried to get, Metroidvanias. I think the only ones I've been able to complete were, like, Metroid, what is it? Another two, AM2R. Another Metroid 2 remake. I beat that, but that game was fucking hell to play. I beat... Fuck, what game did I beat? I beat... Oh, man. Metroid... I beat Metroid Dread, and that's kind of it. That's kind of like where it just ends off for me. Deltarune's where it's at. I believe it. Got a good number of Deltarune fans in the group. In the Discord. I tried to get into it, I just can't. That's fair. That's completely fair. Okay, so... We are trying to figure out how powerful the chakra summons me. It's Madara. My stomach hurts bad. Nice Tails remains uncaptured. The purpose of the war of the Nine Tails. Do you think the 5 could survive a Biju bomb, and if so, which ones? That's kind of a tough question. The lowest I could say that like a tailed beast bomb like scales to is mountain level, or at least one from Killer Bee. Okay, so this is actually kind of interesting, right? I think this is honestly like an interesting conversation to have. So, according to Kurama's own words, and I also have to find the statement for that. If anybody knows where this statement, which chapter the statement's from, I would really appreciate it. But according to Kurama, both he and Gyuki are the strongest tailed beasts. Are the strongest TBs, right? What's important about this is that, like, the only people to really refute this, the only people to, like, generally refute this... One second. The only thing that, like, necessarily refutes this, only Shukaku and the other tailed beasts refute this, in addition to Gyuki himself, but Kurama seems to at least believe that the 8 tails is stronger than the other tailed beasts, right? The thing is that, like, it becomes a bit of like a question of like who you want to believe yourself, right? So the question is then, who do we believe, right? I'm sure that a lot of people are talking about the moment the Biju were talking to each other. I think it's actually a little bit later when I think it's actually a little bit different than just that moment. It's a little bit later, because, Gyuki actually is the one to tell Kurama that, like, this is why Shukaku doesn't like you. They're having, like, a solo conversation. 540. Well, that was a fucking lie. Kurama doesn't explicitly tell Gyuki that they're the strongest, but he does make a statement the killer bee in Naruto's Shippuden chapter where he boasts about the strongest tailed beast, suggesting his powers in comparison to the other tailed beasts. Well, that's a fucking lie. We thought that... whatever. Okay, it's something like here. Okay. Does anybody know what chapter this is from? Shut Your Mouth, If You Were Go by Tails. You're supposed to be the second strongest after me, aren't you? Hurry up and finish them off. I'm going to sleep. Strength isn't determined by the number of tails one has. You've always been like this. That's why the one-tailed Tanuki hated you. Are you listening to me? Stop pretending to be asleep. Okay, I think I have an idea of where this is at. This should be around, like, 570. Actually, I'm gonna need these pages anyway. Kaido's blast breath was it. I would rather tank a fucking Biju bomb than Kaido's blast breath. I'm just gonna be straight up fucking honest. Like, the one that people think that, like, is only mountain level, mind you, that vaporized that mountain as well. That was Kaido using a blast breath with a closed mouth. I'm not saying that, like, it's stated anywhere, it's implied anywhere that, like, Kaido... Have you had lunch yet? I have had lunch. I actually started lunch before I started up the stream. You should get some food too, man. As someone who, like, actively forgoes eating meals because he forgets, I really do recommend, like, you know, getting some food in you. It's just not good for you, man. Okay. The portrayal alone seemed to still seem to be top 2, but the rest is up for interpretation. Kaku is the tsundere of the group, clearly not wanting to acknowledge that the other 2 are infinitely stronger than the rest. I want to say, like, infinitely, but definitely stronger. Like, let me see. 541, P6, 541, P7. There is no shinobi faster than me. Since the time of the 4th Hokage, there is no shinobi faster than me. Ever since the day the 4th Hokage died. You knew my pa? We exchanged blows several times. A noble man, a finer shinobi never lived. Damn, you just love... Why does everybody just love glazing Minato? I mean, Minato's my favorite character, so I'm fine with it. But, like, everybody just loves glazing the fuck out of Minato. It's actually kind of funny. The only other character that gets, like, glazed like this is honestly Madara. And Hashirama, I guess. But me, I have Kaido at galaxy level is absolutely fucking insane, dude. Ah, yeah, are you talking about the moment? Yeah. Okay, I will kill you. Imagine how fucking stupid A would have felt if he tried to kill Naruto. And, like, the whole war was just fucked because of it. P13. P1. P14. Okay. I don't think you know what? Let me just download Minato. Let me just download it. Who cares? I mean, I don't, but you know. Raikage casually one-shotting Naruto's character, light speed scaling. B was able to counter him by predicting his movements. Dude, even Kishimoto glazes Minato like the one-shot. Yeah, no, that's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. I love the Minato glaze. To be fair, he really is a golden sperm child. Like, this guy, like, whoever the fuck Minato's parents were, Damn. Also, doesn't Minato have fucking parents? Didn't he like, were they dead? That shit's never explained. It's shit like that that honestly makes me think like, yo, ooh, where do half of these motherfuckers go, dude? I don't know. Minato my goat, so I'll take it. How many mangs do you think Bungus can muster? I don't know, man. Bungus does not have any attack potency or speed. He is just Bungus. He just exists and he is immune to all fire. It doesn't matter if the fire is universal, Bungus is immune to it. Five, four, three, P1. Let me just make it easier on myself so I don't have to constantly type it. How far would Mr. 4 make it in Naruto if he was the main character? Mr. 4? Mr. 4 like from Alabasta? That's a good question. He definitely hits harder than I think he definitely hits harder than like Kid Naruto's Rasengan, in all honesty. That motherfucker swings a 4-ton bat. I don't think a Rasengan can hit as hard as a guy swinging a 4-ton bat relatively quickly and easily. Like, that's a really heavy bat. I don't think people understand how much that would fucking hurt. Okay. Can I ask you guys a question? Let me ask you guys a question. Actually, you know what? Let me not do that. Let me not do that. I don't want to bring up any conversations about Naruto Lightspeed meta with this whole shit. Like I even say it in the video. As a matter of fact, I even say it like in the script right here where I'm like, okay. Considering that Naruto is capable of dodging his top speed punch, that would put him somewhere around light speed to an arbitrary value of around light speed to an arbitrary value of FTL that I cannot tell you since there's no way of quantifying it within the context of the story. There we go. Yo, Eon, what do you think about Kaido fried Boros and Orochi from Kaido? If Kaido fights Boros and Orochi, I don't scale One Punch Man, so I have no idea. I really don't have any idea, man. I think he's making it to Kaguya. You think he's making it to Kaguya? I don't think that. I think that Naruto characters after a certain point start to hit harder than a 4-ton bat, but it's pretty fair. I told you the lariat does not work against me. You underestimated my power like a fool. Uh, 14. Boros is star level, but definitely gets blitzed. That's a good fight. You think he gets blitzed? Or dated his bombs? What happened? I'd say he just gets killed by Sasori's poison or dated his bombs. Are we putting him in only Naruto situations, or are we putting him through, like, every single fight? Because he probably, like, kills Kid Sasuke if he hits him in the head with that fucking bat, dude. Like, honestly. Being Jinchuriki isn't our only power source. The two of us possess an even greater force. Okay. His speed is the only problem. He can one-shot a lot of people. Okay. Sasuke gets lobotomized. Naruto ends early. Boros is not star level, bro. He said he could nuke Earth at best. Baroque Works versus Akatsuki video. Dude, I'm not trying to get a bunch of people to tell me that I'm glazing the One Piece verse because I'm saying that because I would make a video saying, oh, hey, ooh, no. Because I said that, like, maybe a Baroque Works agent beat them. To be fair, though, like, in all honesty, it would be kind of wild for me or for, like, anybody else to say that, like, yo, the whole, like, Mr. 3 scaling with, what's these guys? Dory and Broggy. Since he was able to, like, what, overpower them or some shit. Speed is an issue for Mr. 4, but I'm not too convinced that he would take much damage from a lot of characters. When we getting to Douglas Bullet versus the Shinobi Alliance, we'll get to that video. We'll get to that video, I think, before the end of the year. I could definitely make some content like that before the end of the year. Okay, so just to run it back, to see if you guys can agree with my scaling. If no, that's fine. But I want to be able to quantify, at least get like a metric for Naruto's capabilities while using Sage Mode and KCM, right? So I think it's at the very least fair to like maybe throw in this feat. Let me find it real quick. Right here. As a reminder, this is a base massive Rasengan from... This is a base Master Rasengan from a clone of Naruto, right? It's not amped by Sage Mode. It doesn't have anything crazy. Jiraiya's Massive Rasengan is stated to be mountain level, at least as of the time of at least at the time of like the Pain arc. Naruto has become a lot stronger. There's specifically a statement from him against Itachi and Nagato, where he says that he's much stronger than before, right? He says, I'm a lot stronger now than when I fought Pain. There's a clear argument that could be made here where one would simply say, well, Naruto saying that he's a lot stronger now is in relations to like him using KCM. In other words, KCM is stronger than Sage Mode. Granted, he could also just be talking about his capabilities now compared to like his capabilities back in the Pain arc overall, right? So like let me rephrase that a little bit better. It's to say that like base Naruto is way stronger, is stronger than base Naruto. Sage Naruto now is stronger than Sage Naruto from Pain arc, like that stuff, right? You know what I mean? Likely his capabilities, right? Don't forget he's a bomb man, including his DNA. That is also fucking true. Bombs isn't working on Mr. 5 either, so Data is a screw. Yeah, but does that mean he himself isn't affected by bomb explosions? I don't know about that. Anyway, Naruto is able to hit Madara's Susanoo ribcage with a massive Rasengan. There's obviously no way for me to properly bridge Sage Jiraiya to this version of Naruto, since any of the characters that they would have fought, in this case Pain, is already dead, and Naruto fought Pain in KCM 1, and he didn't use a massive Rasengan, so things are a bit complicated on that end. About, can Luffy... Oh no, Luffy is running through the chunin exams. Luffy is running through the fucking... He is strolling by with a stick in hand and swinging it around like a sword as he essentially blitzes and one-shots everybody in the chunin exams. There is nobody in the chunin exams besides Orochimaru that is giving Luffy work. I kid you not. There is nobody in the chunin exams, from what I can recall, that is giving Luffy, any kind of work. Like, I'm talking about Gaara as well. Gaara's not doing shit to Luffy, especially if he can punch him. Especially if he can punch through a fucking large rock formation like it was nothing. A year prior. Don't say this guy's stupid. Don't say that. Let's not call anybody stupid. Luffy's not slow, though. I would disagree with that. And even if you want to say that his physical speed is lower than his reaction time or his combat speed in early One Piece, he absolutely walks through. I mean, Luffy not being very smart from like a... I'll put it like this. Luffy not being very smart from like, let's say like fuck, what is it? Okay, let me just rephrase this. There's different levels of intelligence, right? And while going through the Forest of Death, Luffy already has survival skills. He's been thrown into multiple forests by his grandfather. He's been thrown up into the sky, tied to balloons, thrown into a fucking massive ditch, right? Luffy can survive on his own. He can definitely do that. It's not an issue. So getting through like the Forest of Death itself, there is nothing in that forest that is any more dangerous, that is anything even remotely more dangerous than like him going through Amazon Lily when he lost his crew. Now, Luffy might not be the brightest tool in the shed, or at least the brightest bulb in the shed, but like Luffy is, yeah, like he said, Luffy's not book smart, but he's a very combat intelligent motherfucker. Yeah, no, Luffy would absolutely eat that giant fucking snake. Didn't pass the writing part of the exam either. Right? Oh no, he could definitely pass the writing exam. Luffy's not the type of guy to just walk up and leave. So why the fuck would he? Captain T-Bone versus the Eight-Tails? Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. Come on, Bob. Don't ask that. don't make me answer that. I'm not answering that. That's a crazy ass question to ask me. That is a crazy ass question. Anyway, so there's no way to like properly bridge Jiraiya and this version of Naruto since he doesn't use a Chodama Rasengan. He's fighting them in KCM XYZ, right? It's a bit weird. Then you could maybe make the argument that like Naruto's Rasengan is at the very least weaker than anywhere below mountain level, but with the addition of Sage Mode, Naruto's massive Rasengan should be about as powerful. It should be about as powerful as Sage Jiraiya's massive Rasengan, and his Rasen Shuriken should be also stronger than Sage Jiraiya's massive Rasengan, right? Again, as an example, Naruto versus Kurama. An example here is essentially the bridging of Naruto. Oh shit! Did I did. This is all pre-war arc, so 4th Great Ninja War Part 1. Give me a second. No. Wait, no. Wait. Okay, there we go. I have to pass these on to... How do I show more options? Send to... No. Pre-war. Okay, so let me just do that again. Pre-war. There we go. Yeah. All of this goes in pre-war arc. Okay. Do the Elder Toads change things? Depending... Are you going to look up the knock... Oh, yeah, the Knockup stream scaling. Yeah. Okay. For those of you that may not know, Jake, I was thinking about using this in the video itself. Actually, before I do that, let me just look up one specific piece of information. Vegapunk... Sea Beast weapons. Are Sea Beast cyberized Sea Beast weapons or various types of Sea Beasts, including a Sea Lion, Sea Giraffe, Sea Giant. They're quite powerful, usually on the rise. Sea Beasts, however, they're part biological. Okay, so I'll just show you guys the example. I'll just give you guys the example. Okay, it should be like what, prior to Skypiea. So it should be over, what is it, Jaya? Anybody have like the right chapter for this? Anybody have the chapter, please? Okay, actually, wow, I am the GOAT. I really landed this shit. That's crazy. Okay. Okay, so let me give you guys an example. This right here is what we like to call a Sea Beast. Naruto, Eon, isn't Rasengan's strength purely determined by its size? Otherwise, Kakashi testing his Rasengan versus Naruto's would be meaningless. Yeah, its size, well, I think it depends. I think you could maybe argue that, like, Naruto's way more powerful. Real quick, can you answer my last two comments? Okay. I'll answer these. I'll go one by one. I'll go one by one, and then I'll focus on this. Okay, I already have it up. What about the Hunter exam? I have no idea because I have never read anything in Hunter x Hunter past like the first two chapters. People underrate how quickly Luffy learned Rokushiki techniques from CP9, Future Sight, and Advance. Yeah, no, they really do underrate it. Would Chapter 1 Luffy versus Chunin exams Gaara basically be Gaara versus Lee, but 100 times worse for him? Think of him fighting a version of Lee that hits way harder and is also, relatively speaking, comparatively faster. Like, on a low ball, as fast, if not faster. I'm just curious how Chapter 1 Luffy would get past the sand barrier. He just punches right through it. Unironically, he just punches right through it. Unless you want to... well, it depends. I think it depends because like the sand barrier does also cushion. If Gara has a hardened sand barrier, if it's a soft sand barrier, I think that he's gonna have a tough time like trying to push through it. If it's a hard sand barrier, he's cracking through it. By hard, I mean literally solidified. Okay. Okay, I'm pretty sure Sea Kings and Sea Beasts are different. Yeah, no, they're different, right? So this was some scaling that was actually brought up to me by Six and Bob and Lapis months ago. They brought it up again like a month ago. And recently I've actually been thinking about this to like maybe help quantify how powerful one of the vice admirals are. So just to be clear, this right here is a sea beast. It actually fell from the sky, I think no, it survived a knockup stream. The thing about the knockup stream is that these knockup streams actually have the capacity to rip islands straight out of the ground, especially depending on where they're at. One of the things about, at least specifically talking about the lore of Skypiea, one of the things you have to consider, especially when like referring to like the lore of Skypiea, is that one of the islands that is actually up there with the Golden Bell, the Golden City, it actually existed in Jaya hundreds of years ago. 236 P2. So the important thing about this is that essentially a knockup stream that has the ability to send an entire a knockup stream basically had the power to send an entire, where the fuck is it? Skypiea. I'm just gonna put Skypiea and Jaya all together in the same thing. I don't think it really matters. It essentially had the force to send an entire portion of an island, literally rip a landmass out of an island and shoot it 10,000 meters up into the sky, and these sea beasts can survive the force of a knockup stream. It's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of crazy. Like this you could technically argue is actually like island level to above island level in terms of just raw force. Without being a size, I agree with that. Jiraiya use wrestling multiple times to research your Tsunade at varying levels of strength. Yeah, yeah. I do agree with that. I do agree that like the Rasengan isn't necessarily a matter of it. I think that like Naruto and Kakashi actually, well, it wasn't so much about like them clashing. He was actually clashing also. That is a Sea King and not a Sea Beast. Yeah. So to the next point, these cyberized sea beasts, they're not exactly the same thing as Sea Kings, right? So it doesn't necessarily actually help with the scaling of it, since you could technically make an argument that like sea beasts and sea kings are like two completely different species, and because they're not inherently the same, while a sea king is able to survive the knockup stream, and an even larger or potentially more powerful sea beast might not have the same capacity to at least tank so much damage, which makes things a bit difficult in my opinion in terms of like trying to figure out how powerful they are. Though granted, the size of the creatures, you can still what the fuck? Huh. Oh, interesting. Aren't Sea Kings at the Calm Belt only? Yes. Not necessarily. They can also exist bordering certain islands if it's their own territory. If they've decided to consider it their own territory. They mostly inhabit... they do mostly inhabit the Calm Belt, though. Mind you, Luffy one-shot an even larger sea beast. No, I don't think it's larger than this, though. I've actually talked about this with my Discord mods. This sea beast, at least in my opinion, this Sea King, in my opinion, is way fucking larger than the one that Luffy one-shot in Chapter 1. I don't think that Luffy has the... I don't really agree with the scaling. Or at least it doesn't make much sense to me without, at the very least, proving, like, you know... Even from, like, the scans themselves, they do not look even remotely close to the same size. What the fuck? Content profiles, One Piece, Skypiea. Holy shit, I already have these. Fuck. I do already have these. Interesting. That's right. I did ask people to help me out in getting some of these. Well, um, hmm. I'll just delete the PNGs. It's fine. I do need 12. Okay. 9, 10, 11. And then there's 12. Delete. Okay, there we go. Well, you could still scale Luffy to the Knockup stream when he rips out the Mary's mast. Let me, It has to be prior to this. Let me just take this one while I'm at it. I'll check that out in just a second. 107 P1. There we go. I don't necessarily think Luffy ripping out the mast from the Mary is the same as him having the force of a Knockup stream. I really don't, especially since the Mary was fixed so that it could not withstand the Knockup stream, but fly up with it. You can't say for sure if the Lord of the Coast is stronger than the Sea King, to be fair. That's what I'm saying. It will still need to withstand the stream as you saw with Blackbeard's ship. Yeah, but I don't think the mast itself... Well, for one, the mast, I don't think... How do I put it? Blah, blah, blah. Sorry. What fucking chapter were we on, by the way? Was it 39? No, it was... 1 second. 36. To be fair, the construction of the Blackbeard ship is also just like 4 fucking logs. Which is actually kind of funny now that I think about it. They were also like at the center of it. 1 second, actually. Give me 1 second, actually. I wanna see some. That's awesome. It's a going merge flying version. I bet it can fly. Well, it makes me anxious. What was the chapter where they were talking about like the Knockup stream and shit? I just need to. Listen carefully. Knockup stream is located directly south, but how would you get there? You just go. Can't we just go straight? This is the Grand Line. You're out to sea. There's no way to know your direction. I got the log post. You can only, but our compasses won't work. So all we know if we're heading north, you'll have to rely on a south bird. Some animals have an innate sense of direction. The bet makes sense. So tell us sooner. What do you think would win, Meruem, Netero versus Jack or Dofi? Aren't those guys like mountain level at best, and Jack and Dofi scale above Don Chinjo, can split a continent? Same classification? What do you mean? There was a chapter where they were explaining like the what is it? The whole quality. Oh, okay, there we go. So you're saying it's an ocean current that can throw a ship into the air. We have to I get it. So we just have to get thrown up into the clouds by an ocean current, but won't it just smash us against the ocean? That's what I heard, Mocktown. Knockup stream is deadly. You'll have to let it carry you. Here's the important part. You'll be risking your lives. This usually happens. It might sound easy, but it's very violent. To be hurled aloft by not something is catastrophic, but normally it's something that to be avoided at all costs. But why does this ocean current shoot upwards? We never heard of anything like that before. It's monstrous. Speculation. No one's... Theory is that it's an enormous sea cavity. Damn, why am I feel like I have something stuck in my throat. But that means it's unless it's unpredictable current erupted right under the drifting cloud mass. Yes, it would all be for nothing. Your ship would be flung and crashing down into the sky. Then managed to get atop the clouds. Fine, I take things lightly. Look at the Going Mary. She's a wreck. The current will smash her into kindling. That's right, your ship will never make it even if it were brand new. Speed, gravity, intensity, explosion, water would tear it to pieces. See? But don't worry, your ship can be reinforced. So no, the reasoning that because Luffy could rip off the mast, that means he should have equal power to a Knockup stream. That doesn't really matter if this statement right here says that like the ship can be reinforced, and then we know that the Going Mary is completely, well, not completely, but it's transformed afterwards. What are your thoughts? Where are you right now on Bleach? Right now, in terms of Bleach, right now, I'm actually in the Hueco Mundo Arrancar arc. I actually just got to Noitora pulling up and fighting Ichigo. I haven't read today. I actually haven't read today. If you guys want, I can sit down and read another 10 chapters with you guys. I'll probably save this one. I actually have to save the Knockup stream stuff too anyway. So, I mean, am I in Skypiea? Am I in Skypiea? One Piece? Skypiea? All files? 229. What fucking thing is this? 229? Is this? That's 231. 229 P10. Sure, and then what about Wiper? He was about to destroy the Mary. Can I see? Let me see. Let me see. I really don't know what chapter that is. I also want to take some of the stuff for like the Knockup stream. Which is more destructive? Dofi's birdcage, or if you're talking about like straight up destructive in terms of an instant, I would definitely say Almighty Push. But if we're talking like in terms of like wide range, 100% the fucking birdcage. Though granted, it is a lot slower of a death. Does anybody? What was the chapter with Wiper? Was there 248 in the water 7? Kid Frankie killed a Sea King too. Did he? I don't recall that. It's not. Didn't he kill a Sea King with one of his, like, battleships? Was that the case? When does... Or maybe some blech. You sure we can read some blech? Yeah, we're gonna read some blech. Okay. Where the hell does Wiper shoot down? When does Wiper try to shoot down the Mary? Does anybody know the... Does anybody... Luffy should narratively be above this Sea King, though. What Sea King? The one that came, like, crashing down? Is it the stream phrasing, or is it just... Yeah, he killed it with a Frankie battleship. Oh, yeah. Okay. I distinctly do recall that. I do distinctly recall that. Yeah. Dude, Wiper got fucked up, man. I can see why people don't like Skypiea, but it's not terrible. Actually, let me ask you guys a question. Let me ask you guys somewhat, I believe at least, somewhat interesting question. 6, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, there's at the very least another way to, like, scale what's-her-face, Vice Admiral Doll, and it's that she was able to put down or decommission a Pacifista in a combo hit, right? In a 1 hit in the manga, 2 hits in the anime. The second hit in the anime does seem to be much more impactful than the first one, which only seemed to stun the Pacifista. I actually would rather use the anime version, not because, like, to downscale her or anything. I think it would be about as equal of a feat regardless. Not Archie, no, Marineford, Fishman Island, there we go. I actually say this because, comparatively speaking, she took down a Pacifista. She took down a Pacifista, a Mark III Pacifista with a single kick, right? If you guys need me to pull up the page, I got you right now. Right here. It was, 1089? Was it 1089? Okay. Alright. She takes down a Mark III Pacifista. Now, the difference that I want to say here, which means she scales above pre-time skip Luffy and should be island level and FTL plus in my opinion. Yeah. So I'll get to that in just a second. She took down a Mark III Pacifista. Now, I'm going to look up Pacifistas real quick for you guys. I do not believe that, like, or at least when I check this out, Pacifista, at least from versions 1, marks 1 through 3, are not actually stated in any way, shape, or form to be that much different in terms of, like, their overall makeup. I know that the Mark III obviously have the bubble shield, but besides that, I don't believe that they are any different. On Egghead, there is at least one Pacifista unit that wears a police uniform and tactical armor instead of Kuma's outfit due to the sleeves being disconnected. Parts of the cybernetics around the shoulder areas are exposed. This unit also wears sunglasses. The upgraded Pacifista Mark III, which appear on Egghead under Sentomaru's command, is morphologically identical to a standard Pacifista model after Bartholomew Kuma, but wears different clothes. This model is outfitted with a double-breasted jumpsuit bearing each individual serial numbers on the chest, a hard combat helmet, aviator sunglasses, a reinforced metal collar, and gloves with palms to dispense resin, right? The Mark III Pacifista, let me see if I can find it. The Mark III Pacifista model displays the ability to weaponize what appears to be a Yakuri Man type resin in battle, which it dispenses from a hole in the palm of its hands, and is referred to as a bubble shield. While the resin applied to the ship of Sabaody is extremely durable, used to protect against the crushing ambient pressure of the deep sea. 1 second, guys. I actually have to take this. I was waiting. Alright, I'm back. My apologies. My apologies. I had to go pick something up. Okay. Used to protect against the crushing ambient pressure of the deep sea. The kind employed by the Mark III is resilient to more focused force as well, as it deflected a bazooka shot. How this resin maintains its constitutional status Bioti's unique atmosphere, whether it be as a function of Egghead's artificial curated climate, or by some other means is unknown. These pacifistas answer verbally to Sentomaru and appear to sleep in pods in the Fabrio phase when not in use. So, the point I'm trying to just sort of make with this is that, like, I can't exactly tell you if these pacifista are any more powerful than the pacifista, not powerful, they should be, they're Mark III, or at least they're outfitted with these bubble shields, but it's more so the idea of whether or not they're more durable. Doll is able to one-shot one of these pacifistas in the manga, two-shot them in the anime. The reason why I bring this up is specifically because Zoro and Sanji, at this point in the story, Zoro's using a serious attack using 3 sword style. Sanji is seriously hitting this pacifista with a Diable Jambe, and it explodes. In Doll's case, well, you can maybe make the argument that, like, well, Doll didn't exactly, you know, blow hers up. It's because they're trying to not destroy any pacifista. It's because they're trying not to destroy the pacifista, since they're trying to maintain as much military power as they can. These pacifistas are, like, worth a lot for the military, for the world government, and they specifically try to deal as little damage to them as possible. I think it's important to actually note up because later on in the... I downloaded this, right? Yeah. Because later on in Fishman Islands, let me just find it. What is it? 32? Later on in Fishman Island, I think like 5 chapters after this, Sanji ends up hitting this thing. Where the fuck is it? Okay, yeah. Sanji is able to knock up Waratsumi, if I recall right, after taking a Fishman steroid pill. And Sanji's able to kick this guy without using Diable Jambe, which does increase his destructive force. And he's able to, like, knock him up into the sky, actually. That's not the feat I was looking for. That is... Actually, no. It should be the later feat then. Yeah. He's even bigger. He's even larger than he was before, especially against, what's-his-face? You know, the Kraken's still bigger than you? Which, would mean that this guy is a little under 300 meters tall. Throughout the arc, they emphasize trying to incapacitate them as much as possible in order to recover as many units as possible. So I would assume that everyone is trying to do the minimum amount of damage. Correct. And she's able to one-shot one of these pacifistas. Which means that you can at least say that she has the capacity, that she should have, at the very least, the capacity to hit about as hard as someone like, let's say, Sanji, who can, knock up Waratsumi into the air. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, yeah. Vagabond Drill knocks him up into the air, and Sanji is able to kick a guy that is about a little under 300 meters tall with just a single kick. Actually, no, this is Hell Memories. That's actually a little bit different. I might have been a little bit wrong on that. Sorry, the Admiral Blitz. I mean, if you lowball the Admirals and highball Ulquiorra's speed to MFTL scaling... Okay. I think we should just take a break and just read some blah. Where the fuck was I? I got to, like, Neliel to Odenschwank. Something like that. Okay, she saves Ichigo. Is it really you? Yes, thank you. I was able to return to my form. Brought me here past. I want to repay you. Well, you want to repay me? Don't worry. It'll be over quick. She slashes Noitora, you witch, hits, kicks, you vixen, Sero, and then she eats it, and then shoots it right back. Okay. Master Noitora, Ichigo, hold on, I'll heal you right away. Hold, Nell. Ichigo, I'm so happy. You're okay. Wait, no, you're gonna kill him. What? No, his eyes are rolling back. Ichigo, And then he sends the guy flying. Okay. Who told you to let go of the girl? I'm sorry, sir. What? You hit me with that, with the Cero you absorbed combined with one of your own? So why am I still alive? Isn't that what you're thinking? Actually, I'd forgotten about your special technique, the Cero Doble. I should have been watching for it, but you forget something, too. Do you have any idea how long you've been away from Las Noches? Don't assume the skills of the current spot are the same as you remembered, Neliel. I'll show you the number on your back no longer means anything. Wah. Oh, yeah, we're back on this bullshit. You better apologize for getting that wrong. What did I get wrong? Oh yeah, I should. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Odell Schfunk. Yeah, Odell Schfunk. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I misremembered Sanji not using. I misremembered Sanji using Hell Memories. I thought he didn't. My apologies. My apologies, kings and queens of the chat. What the fuck did Michael send me? As Gore runs over Des with lyrics. I'm not watching this right now. That's not. I don't need that right now. Renji, look out. Hey! It's you, Renji. I'm the real Renji, you moron. Don't say it like it's a question and don't attack if you're not sure. Look out, Dundo. You look a lot like Renji. Now you're just trying to get to me. What are you guys doing? I figured out how to tell the differences between the real us and the clones. First, Renji and my clone, they're almost identical to us except for the marks around our eyes, but leave them for later. Dondochaka's clones don't have spots on their backs. They're easy to distinguish. They ain't spots. I call them polka dots. And finally, there are Pesce's clones. As you probably noticed, the fake ones are wearing pants. Wow. What? Okay, sure. Oh, yeah. It's true. It was so obvious I didn't even notice. You didn't notice? What were you looking at? He made some big mistakes. Is he stupid or what? Yet who missed the big mistake? I'm not stupid, huh? You were listening? The loincloth and those spots didn't appeal to me, so I got rid of them. You said you were stupid for changing their outfits to suit your tastes. They ain't spots, they're polka dots. Okay. Uryu, this space is too cramped to fight in. Let's get out of here. Or how? We already tried that. I have an idea. Bankai, Hihio, Sabima. Guys, look! It's the worst Bankai in Bleach. It's like, objectively speaking, the worst Bankai in all of Bleach. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Every time I hear Renji say Hihio Sabimaru, I just imagine they're about to lose. Like, if I had to be just fucking honest, every time I hear that attack, every time I hear that fucking Bankai, I really do think, man, we're just gonna be gifted another L. Let me not make more work for myself and actually download these stupid ass images. You know what? Fuck it, dude. I don't care. I'm just gonna download them like this. I'll figure out the repercussions of this later. Like, out of all the shit, like, listen, I think Byakuya Kuchiki's Bankai is boring as all fucking hell, right? I don't think Senbon and Sakura Kageyoshi or whatever is all that interesting of a fucking Bankai. I think it's just, I think it's kind of like, just Gaara. I think it's like, I think it's the same thing as if Gaara opening up the back of his gourd to, like, let sand out, and then his Bankai is the equivalent of Gaara just turning his gourd itself into more sand. It's really not that interesting. It's just bigger Shikai. It quite literally is just bigger Shikai. You're not totally wrong, but Ikaku has factually the worst Bankai. Oh, that is also true. What's up, Memento? What? That is actually also true. It's Gaara if it was razor blades instead of sand. Pretty much. But like I say, Eon, all the Espadas are country level by Las Noches. By the Las Noches is country size. Is it country size? Is that confirmed anywhere? At least I don't recall reading that yet. Is Las Noches the size? I'm genuinely not sure. Okay. Okiura did a multi-continental feat, though. Multi-continent for high-tier Espadas, in my opinion. What exactly makes them, like, multi-continental, though? I'll get there eventually. You really are cocky for a motherfucker who has yet to win with this fucking thing. Actually, no, he's got one win against the Pre-Verone. Oh, all calcs. Okay. Lanza del Relampago feat. Okay. Does Bleach get a big strength buff at the 1,000-year? I think it does. I really do think it does. Just as I thought, I had a feeling they were copying my moves. I thought if I performed Bankai, then they would too, and I was right. Oh, you're alive. How'd you like that clever move? What? You're... How should I put this? You're just like Ichigo. Shut up. I don't consider that a compliment. Of course, it wasn't meant as one. Where are Dondochaka and Pesce? They should be fine. Those two are pretty tough. The problem is Zayalaparo. Watch out for that sneaky creep. He'll probably pop up right under our feet. Okay. Oh ho! Uh-oh, you wrecked my palace. What am I going to tell Lord Aizen? This is very upsetting. And then he pops all of them. The clones. Enough of that. I'll fight you myself. Behold the true power of La Lujuriosa. Random question, but you like vanilla ice cream? I don't eat vanilla ice cream. I'm sorry, I guess you didn't get the memo. Just two characters, but yeah. You hated this fight? This fight gets weird towards the end, and I'm sure we'll... I'm sure we all know where this is going, or at least most of us do. This fight does become quite strange towards the end. It's unpleasant to see yourself get blown to pieces like that, even if it's not really you. Alright, sorry to keep you waiting. Now I'll show you the true power of La Lujuriosa. I think it's like the luxurious... thanks anyway, but we're not interested in the true power of that thing. I'm going to interrupt your demonstration, so am I. He makes two giant, whatever the fuck these things are. I'm the one who's sorry. Unfortunately, you have no choice in the matter. This demonstration is mandatory. He sucks up Uryu. No. Spits him out. Gross. Delicious is crazy. And then he makes a little doll of Uryu. An Uryu doll? Uryu, wake up! Ugh. Are you okay? Wake up. I'm alright. Stop screaming in my ear. Yoo-hoo! Okay, let's see. I do think this is a pretty interesting power set, though. I'm over here. What's he doing, huh? What am I doing? Somebody called my name? That Spanish is pretty good. I speak fluent Spanish, dude. So thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for all your hard work. By the way, guys, can we get some W-O-Me's in the chat? Thank you for the $2, Obi. You could just type it though, man. I appreciate any tips or like super chats and stuff like that, guys. But I'm like, you could just at me and I'll definitely read it. Thank you, Diode. Thank you for all your hard work, Mr. Ishida. But your term as Mr. Ishida is over. Meet the new Mr. Ishida. What? Shink. Well, did you feel something touch you? Maybe I wasn't clear before. It's rather like a remote control for your senses. Just kind of crazy when you think about it. Get it? And what are you? Stop. Open. No. Here? Yeah. Fool. What were you afraid of? The doll is designed to come apart. Did you think your friend would break in half? Oh well. Here, look. See all these little parts? I see them. Pretty, aren't they? They look like little toys. This is the great thing about this doll, but it's quicker to show you than to tell fools like you. This is estomago, the stomach. Crazy. It's crazy that in the anime, they actually had him spit out white. Don't tell you what to do. That's fair. That's fair. Do whatever you want with your money, I guess. I suppose. Free will is a thing. I suppose. This is way more fucking vicious in the manga. Holy shit. Calm down. I only crushed his stomach. You fiend! And then he gets eaten too. How did you get blissed by that? Ugh, so how sad. A little teasing, a little surprise, and they lose all perspective. It's always the same. They're like children. Humans, Soul Reapers, Quincy's, they're all equally vile. If there's one reason why Lord Aizen should exterminate all of you, it's... The sin of vileness. Damn. Facts. She's a mountain? What the fuck are you guys talking about? Spitting out white is crazy. Yeah, they do spit out white. Like, it's just like clear white liquid. It's kind of crazy. At least the white can be interpreted as spit. That's what I used to think as a kid. When I was like 13, I was like, oh, why are they spitting out? They're just spitting out like a lot. The fuck? Okay. She charges back at him. Why didn't you strike? Why didn't you? Fool. I stopped because you did. You're so annoying. When I'm fighting you, I can't help thinking, after all this time, you haven't changed a bit. You're exactly the same. Which is crazy to me because it's like, this hasn't been that long. It's been like, what, a couple of months? What has it been, like 3 months? It's only been like 2-3 months for these guys. They're acting like it's a massive difference in time. Nell. Wait, Ichigo, you're still... Nell's getting killed. I gotta help her. And then he gets kicked away by the dude. Okay. Fuck me. Alright, 1 second, guys. I just remembered something. Bleach. Hueco Mundo. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we gotta take all of this and just jam it in. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we already do have one. Okay, perfect. He just remembered something for the whole arc. Yeah, the time scale for this is weird. Not most Bleach arcs are just Ichigo getting his ass handed to him. It kind of is. Actually, they all are. There's really never a single Bleach arc where Ichigo isn't getting his ass handed to him, besides maybe like the first arc. These guys really, speaking as if years have been passed, when it's only a couple of months. And not only has it been only a couple of months, but like, assuming that Aizen got to work almost immediately, it quite literally has only been at most like 2 to 3 months, right? Much time between Soul Society arc, Soul Society, and a Rancor arc. Approximately 3 to 4 months had passed between the end of the Soul Society. Ichigo was 15 when he was given his Soul Reap powers, became 16 during the Soul Society arc. He was still 16, which occurred in fall. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Because Noitora says many years had passed, but I thought only a few months had passed. Aizen was creating a Rancor way before he left the Gote. You can even see him again wearing their Gote looks when they recruited Baragon. It was really only a few weeks between the Soul Society arc and the Hueco Mundo arc, maybe even less than 3 months. The Soul Society ended at the end of their summer break. FKT was originally supposed to happen in the winter, but Aizen was ready too early. We saw Ichigo begin his fall semester of high school, so only a few weeks passed. 2 months between the end of Soul Society. Yeah, so it's only been like 2-3 fucking weeks, dude. Middle of May, June. June, August 13th, time shift, return to the world of living. They were once chased by Kototsu. The effect time is unknown. Events resume at the start of the second semester at school. September 1st, the Cold War. Shinji, September. Yeah, because they had to be going into that. That's true. All of Bleach really kind of just takes place in like about a year or so, right? It really just does take place in about a year. Yeah, and then all of this happens basically in the same day. So it's really only been about 2 months. It's kind of gross. Yeah. Yeah, Bleach really just does take place in about a year's worth of time. It's kind of crazy. Sorry if I'm taking long on this. I'm just trying to see something. Yeah. Lost Agent is a 17-year time skip after Soul Society. What are you talking about? Why are you typing in all caps? Who, me? Am I typing in all caps? Oh, you're talking about someone else. Okay, we're back to Bleach. Oh, 290. Okay. Yeah, it gets grabbed. Yeah, right here. Okay. I can't let you disturb Master Noitora. That woman, Neliel to Odell Schwunk, is a boulder. She's obstructing Master Noitora's path and must be destroyed by Master Noitora himself. If you call me Beast, kill you like Tempest. Okay. When two Yoko fight, Marco says they split the heavens, but all people say the sky is the sky, but Bleach is facts, right? Holy shit! Lapis, thank you for the 10. Driving in my car right after a beer. Hey, that bump is shaped like a deer, DUI. How about you fly? I'll go 100 miles an hour. What the fuck, bro? Guys, can we get some W's, Lapis? Thank you for the 10, man. I hope you're good. Hope you... I hope you're driving safely, dude. My day's been good, man. I had to run a couple of errands. Basically, was running around all morning. I had like a doctor's appointment. Had to run some stuff at the mail. Had to come back home, go back out, do a bunch of stuff. It's been fine. Just fixing things, doing things, trying to get things back up and running. Apparently, traveling for like a month and a half. Yeah, apparently traveling for like month and a half, and this is kind of like a no shit Sherlock thing. I completely agree, but like it kind of boils down to like this idea that like you really need to find a way to automate all of your bills. My family, or at least my parents, haven't really do that. I had to edit die to fly. Okay, got you. But yeah. My family, my parents specifically, they never like really automated everything, so they only automated like half of our bills. So when I got back, I just had to take care of a bunch of shit, dude. Like, it was some of them, like one of them, like I said before, sending mail in the United States is kind of fucking expensive, man. Fucking first day, one day shipping is like $32, 31, like what, $31, $32. That shit is crazy. Oh no, not a problem with your PC. That sucks, man. Because they affected realms, not planets. Also, there's an infinite-sized prison in the Soul Society. I mean, Soul Society can still share the same starscape as the universe Earth is in, but in a different part of the universe. Riddle me this. If they're planet size, why can't they see stars and galaxies in the night sky in the Soul Society? Probably because Kubo didn't think of that. Ha! I don't know. I feel like that's like the most smart-ass answer I can give. I feel like Kubo didn't think about a lot of things, especially when it came to like the world building. You know what I mean? Like if I were living in the Soul Society, which is the equivalent to like, if I were living in the Soul Society, which is the equivalent of like, what is it, Edo, Japan or some shit, and I'm looking up at the sky since there's no, can we please not call people tards, by the way? Even if like they're not, nobody here is a tard or whatever, or bleach tard or whatever, let's just not use that language. But I like to think of it like this. They're living in Edo, Japan, and they look up at the sky, and obviously you'd ask yourself, well, why don't we see stars or, you know, the night sky or everything? But I just feel like it's because Kubo didn't think of that. I'm not gonna lie. It really just sounds like it to me. Okay, we're done here. I'm glad we finished in time for lunch. Those two get so worried when I'm late. What the fuck? 6! Little did you know I filled up on gas. I'ma get your fountain-making ass. Pulverize this fuck with my Bergen truck. It seems you're out of luck, Bergen truck. What the fuck are we talking about? Guys, 6. Holy shit. Thank you for the 50. Oh my god, guys. Can we get some W6s? God damn. Guys, I appreciate the... I appreciate it, but, like, let's not waste all of our money on this, okay? I really do. I really am grateful, but... You could just put the funny message. I've streamed it on the server twice. 6 can attest that I hit the night twice. Nice! Sweet. Bro, if this old side is supposed to be heaven of this earth, just annihilate me, soul and all. Yeah, Actual type shit. Listen, all I'm saying is if I have to find out that when I go to heaven I'm essentially living in an impoverished fucking village where I can't see any of my family because the place is so big, I'll probably never find any of them and I have to make some random motherfucker. That was just my account balance from a gift card. Oh, okay. Okay, well, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, Six. Thanks for the gift card. But yeah, like, no, like, just annihilate me. Just let the hollow eat me. I don't care. I don't need to be reincarnated, man. I don't want to go living in Edo, Japan, dude. Like, and mind you, that's the afterlife at that point. This is a duel. Finish it. You mean finish you? What else? No. And don't use that tone with me. We were humans who became hollows, then regained our reason by becoming Arankars. Rational beings need a reason to kill, and you don't have one. Ooh. Nelly L is talking. Spitting. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I have a reason. I don't like you. That's not a reason. It's an instinct. You're a beast. I don't recognize you as a warrior. And I refuse to burden myself with your life. Damn. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. She was kind of spitting right there. Noitora. Are you alright? Get up. We're not friends. Don't imagine we're equals just because I can't beat her, Tesla. Oh, fuck. I downloaded it twice. That was on me. Yeah, Soul Society isn't great. Rather just reincarnated right off the bat. I am in a realm where Kurotsuchi Mayuri is in the same realm as me. I am not safe anywhere. To be fair, he has, like, no interest in you. Like, no offense, but I don't think he would have any interest in any of us. Especially as, like, revived Kompaku. Which I still don't fully know what is what a Kompaku exactly is, but I'm imagining it's just like the shape of the soul or some shit. Don't forget that there's a West branch which has dragons. Fuck, man. No. Holy shit, Lapis. Guys, this is not a... When you're dueling with the knight and you can't survive the fight because the shadow mantle's might fades too rapidly. I have an engine that still runs roaring knight. I'll get her done with the Forsetto crush you rising star. Thank you so much for Lapis. Thank you. Guys, can we get some W Lapis? Holy shit. Holy shit. Them stimulus checks are still working, aren't they? Let me stop. Let me stop. I appreciate it, guys. I really do. But Master Neliel is just one of many espadas. Why her? I can't stand the idea of a woman defeating a man in battle. Oh, this man! Oh, wait a second. It's Deltarune Brainrot? Really? The stream is like a live music show. I love it. Let me throw in a couple myself. Thank you, guys. W Lapis, I still win though. All right, this is not a fucking dick measuring contest between you two. How far do you think Orihime gets into One Piece, dude? I don't know where the fuck Orihime scales, man. I think she's probably would be like the best healer in all of One Piece. I'll say that. Oh yeah, casual sexism as well. Yeah, no. This isn't even casual sexism. This is like old school, old world sexism, bro. Also, how the fuck did his hair grow that long? Like, at least twice as long in only like 3 months. That's crazy. One Piece caps at galaxy level. All right, PP measurement contest. Yeah, we're not. Let's not do that. Do you remember you called me a beast? You said I wasn't worth killing. All right. Don't forget, I'll hit you with my car. All right. What's the hardest quote in fiction in your opinion? Just the cool factor. For me, it's be prepared for today. A star of a city shall be gone. That's a very good question. I got you right now. It's not so much that I think like this is really cool. I just think this is like this just goes really fucking hard. I just think this goes very hard. Let me show you real quick. That's a very good question, actually. I like that question. I love the misogynistic spoon. Yeah, the misogynistic spoon really knows how to make a case for himself. He really does make a case for himself as a terrible ass. I guess I can't even say human being. All right. Hold on. Oh yeah. Wait. Hold on. Not yet. Oh, wait, no. I got you right now. I won't allow that. To all humans in the vicinity, until I say otherwise, you are forbidden from moving. If you break this rule, I will kill you. Hold on. Not yet. Not yet. Now. I love this scene. I love this scene so much. This shit is so... This shit is so fucking, like, crazy to me. Like, everyone is out here ready to just get the fuck up out of this places. Listen up, you curse users! I don't know what the hell happened, but those two are fighting there are special grade. Think of them like elephants tap dancing on ants, and we're the ants. Hurry up and run! I won't allow that. To all humans in the vicinity, until I say otherwise, you are forbidden from moving. If you break this rule, I will kill you. There we go. I had to say that right. I had to say that expeditiously right. Why is the voice acting actually good? Thank you. Thank you. I fuck around and make like a lot of voices in my own personal time, so like I do like doing a little bit of it. Well, how does it feel to be killed by a beast? Pesce, Donde Chaka, where are you? It's time for dinner. I wonder where they went. I'm Hey, looking for somebody? That's none of your business, Chief. Carrying a weapon is pathetic attempt at intimidation. Put it away if... Oh, wait, no. Wait, let me rephrase that. I thought it was him talking. Let me do that. Sounds like you're doing this with your shirt off. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that even mean? Which of the big three MCs has the best chance of assassinating Prime Whitebeard while he's sleeping? Prime Whitebeard? Fucking Ichigo, probably. Unless he has like observation hockey constantly active like he did against Ace. Probably Ichigo. I don't think Luffy ever goes for the kill. Best voice actor? Thank you. I got you. You should do Isaac. You got potential? Oh, thank you, man. Carrying a weapon... Wait, let me do her voice real quick. Carrying a weapon is pathetic attempt at intimidation. But put it away if you want people to respect you. Damn. Boom. Okay. Pesce, Donde Chaka. Forgive us, Master Nail. Damn. Pesce and Donde Chaka might have been cute. I ain't gonna lie. It might have been... That is definitely a pinchable waist right there. These are definitely pinchable waists. These two right here, definitely pinchable waists. Anyway, you tore their masks off. Do you realize what you've... Shing! Damn. Noitora really acting the fuck up. There really is just no respect and love between the Espada. They just all hate each other. You'll probably say that was the best act of a beast too. You'll probably say that was the best act of a beast too. But I don't care. What do you want? What do you want? Your job is done, Xyolaparo. That's not nice. We're comrades working together toward a common goal, aren't we? At least let me see the outcome. We don't share a common goal. We share a common interest. Common goals come from common interests. Don't get philosophical. It makes me sick. We can collab, Yon. I do great Goofy and Yoda to complement your range. Oh, that's awesome. Goofy and Yoda. Gorge. I don't know. I think that's like the best I can do for fucking Goofy. So are we still talking about the Buster Call video? Just joined. Yeah, we were talking about it before. Definitely cleared up a couple things for me in terms of like the raw scaling of it though. Prime Whitebeard versus Kaido, who takes each other's aspect of battle. Prime Whitebeard versus Kaido, who takes each important aspect of battle: strength, speed, durability, AP, and so on. Durability definitely would go to Kaido. AP would probably go to Whitebeard. Speed, probably Kaido, because Whitebeard has never seemed like a character that moves a lot, at least across the battlefield to me. Though granted, I'd really have a lot to go off of in terms of speed for Whitebeard, so I'd probably just have to say Kaido. In terms of raw strength, there's probably an argument to be made that Kaido's actually physically stronger than Whitebeard. Not just because of the size difference, but also because he's got a Devil Fruit that's a Zoan. A legendary Zoan Devil Fruit that would, if anything, make it so that his physical capabilities are increased, especially in terms of close range. What else is there? I don't really go by like combat. I don't really go by like combat IQ and all that bullshit. No, I have a good Obito voice act. You ever have a good Obito voice? I'd be down to hear that. And also Dante from Black Clover. Oh, okay, got you. I've never. I don't think has the Black Clover like the last arc for the anime that came out. Was that did that ever come out in English? Kaido has mobility with flight. He definitely would have mobility with flight. I would agree. I would agree. The one with actual non-rumored title. Oh, I already downloaded this. It's not strength that separates us. It's experience. And by the time your wounds have healed and you come back crawling to Las Noches, I'll have risen above you, so high your sword won't even be able to reach me. Come on. Would you please not speak to me like that? You're not even in Espada anymore. You're not even in Espada anymore. What? You were only able to catch Neliel off guard because of my device. She's turning herself into a child? Did you know that Piccolo is always farming aura because he's constantly losing aura by getting... I believe that. I would actually fucking believe that. Not Ichigo. Piccolo is honestly not that cool to me of a character. I really do not have that much respect for Piccolo, all things considered. Like, I really just don't. Endurance, range, power. I can't speak on endurance. I'll give it to Kaido only because I don't really know what Whitebeard's endurance is. It said that like he fought Roger for like 3 days, but I also feel like that wasn't a life or death fight that they were having. I would count it in the same case of like what's her face, Big Mom, where Big Mom and Kaido were like they fought for like a night and a half straight and they just didn't have any damage either. I would just consider it like the same thing. Range, definitely fucking Kaido, dude. Like, the guy's able to make a giant dragon that is larger than a fucking island. Granted, Whitebeard is able to, like, crash, like, literally rip the seas apart near an island. Although I can't quantify the difference between, like, Marineford and Onigashima, so I guess it's kind of dependent, but... I guess it depends on, like, whether or not you think that the Flame Dragon Bagua is bigger than the, breaking the oceans, but that one's just more so on, that one's more so like a personal, that's more so just like personal bias at that, you know what I mean? And power, I'd just give it a Whitebeard. This scene lets us find the height of that place by the time it took the fall. Did you see the post? What post? What post? What's up, Gigas? Are you forgetting that Whitebeard went through what Whitebeard went through in Marineford? Yes, but also what that wasn't, how do I put it? What Whitebeard went through Marineford could I guess in terms of endurance, I guess that would help, but also like Whitebeard's endurance was also being affected by his illness. So like you're not invited to the barbecue, Piccolo slander is not tolerated. I'm just saying Piccolo's a bit of a fucking loser in almost every single Dragon Ball arc post fucking Saiyan Saga. Like, what does he do? Fight Frieza? What does he do? Fight second form Frieza, gets absolutely obliterated by third form Frieza, fights 17, gets bodied by Cell, and then does nothing in the Buu Saga, but get absorbed. I guess he trains Goten and Trunks, he was more funny than anything, but like the whole aura farming thing is like, cool, I guess. I don't even really like Piccolo's design. I'm gonna be honest. Even as a kid, I was just like, if I ever had to like look at all of the Dragon Ball characters and then you threw Piccolo in there, I'm just like, well, okay, he's just Green Slug Man. What am I supposed to think? Not just Cell, imperfect Cell. Yeah, no, like I have respect for Piccolo. I don't think he's all that interesting or impressive of a character, at least in my opinion. Range, Kaido, AoE, Blackbeard. I could agree with that. Interesting. I've never witnessed the phenomenon before. Spirit energy escaping from the cracks in her mask, and the Reishi itself is shrinking. Either that or... Ha! Who cares? Look at you, Neliel! Ha 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 ha! Our blades will never cross again. That's something I'll miss. How much to get you to scale Killer Ray? I will you know what? I'm not even... it's too... Thank you for the $2, Lapis. I'm not liking it only because I'm not scaling fucking Killer Bean. You know what? My fucking integrity goes beyond any monetary value. You would have to pay me more than what the Mona Lisa is fucking worth, bro. No, you guys would have to actually fucking pay me more than what the Mona Lisa is fucking worth, man. No way. Absolutely no fucking way. Don't you remember? My head hurts. Pesci, quiet. There's only one path left for us. Master Neliel is dead. Her mask is broken, her power stolen, and her memories erased. This is no longer Master Neliel. Now, we have to protect her. Oh, that's Don Chaka. That's Pesci. Holy shit. From Noitora, from Xyolopero, from pain, from suffering, from everything, Nell is vulnerable now. We have to protect her with our lives because we swore to serve her. That's the only duty we have now. Okay. I'll come back in 10 years with the money. I got you, bro. I got you. I do wish Kishimoto properly used Killer B instead of having him... Instead of him having, like, permanently low on chakra. He wasn't even permanently low on chakra. What was your last comment, no, Scott? What about abilities, hacks, character, DC? Like, you're asking a lot, bruh. I'm trying to just read through Bleach today. Abilities, I mean, we know more about Kaido's abilities than we did about Whitebeard. All he does... If I had to, like, tell you abilities, I would probably say the dragon fruit at least gives you the ability to not only fly, use multiple elemental kind of attacks from lightning to fire to wind, and you literally become a natural disaster. Granted, an earthquake is also a natural disaster, but I guess if I'm talking like hacks itself, just becoming so durable that you have to essentially bypass my durability is kind of crazy. In terms of character, that's super subjective. I think it just depends on like which character you like more. I would say that I like Kaido as a villain, but Whitebeard just has this aura about him, this legendary status about him that I don't think can necessarily be, you know, undermined. In terms of destructive capacity, I have only one thing to go off of, which is either Flame Dragon Bagua or what's his face, the giant Continental Crusher, whatever the fuck you want to call the splitting of the oceans. Reaction and combat speed, I'll just give it a Kaido because I haven't seen full powered Whitebeard. Defense, obviously Kaido, and offense, I'll give it a Whitebeard. To be fair, Killer Bean would be wall to small building level based on the feats in the movie. That's final. I'm still not scaling that thing. The Mona Lisa is estimated to be worth 850 million, so that is a lot of money. That is not enough money for me to fucking scale a bean, bro. Faster than all but 2 characters from Demon Slayer. What do you think about the actual versus debate done on YouTube or Discord? I was actually thinking about having some of my Discord members join me actually to make an actual debate. I'll probably like offer some topics. I'll probably offer like 2 character topics and essentially have everyone prepare like some prepare like an actual debate. I wasn't sure what you guys would think about it, but depending on what you guys think you'd like to see, because I don't personally debate myself. Like, I don't like the act of debate, because a lot of the times it really just boils down to my interpretation versus your interpretation, which I think is all fine and well, but it just becomes a bit annoying, at least in my mind, to see, be like, well, I think it's this, I think it's that. You know what I mean? Should I have some my members debate on stream? And I'll probably have some of my mods. I'll probably have like 1 or 2 of my mods to essentially sit back with me and we'll just sit back and we'll sort of, you know, let them go at it, let them shoot the shits, debate as they like, give each other talking points. We'll give them like possibilities of chatting, but for the most part, just wait until the end. But then we'll have them muted, probably have them deafen, so that they can wait it out until we come to an agreement. Oh, a debate can be fun. What happened to Bungus's wife? Bungus was not fucking married, dude. Why are you guys adding more lore to my character? Okay, Whitebeard is Quake and hockey attacks, all non-name attacks, because he is an adult like that. Not true. Whitebeard has the mature charisma that he makes him appear unshakable even in the face of death. I agree with that. I have not else to blame but the slightly lower vertical placement in the world. By character, I mean better personality of doing good in battle. Like Madara not taking anyone seriously unless you're Hashirama. Oh, well, it's a bit different, because, like, with Whitebeard, I feel like Whitebeard's a bit of a savage when it comes to fighting, at least from like what I saw with Roger. But the thing about him is that like Whitebeard's just has a good fair character about him. He's not gonna complain. He doesn't give a fuck what you do. He's gonna fight you fair. But it's also like in a battle between pirates, there's no such thing as an unfair combatant. Don't know what topic though. I'll figure out some scaling as I get more and more characters. I'll figure out some scaling, and I'll put up two characters, and I'll give you guys a range between like what you guys can use to scale. Bet as long as it's either Black Clover, Demon Slayer, One Piece, JJK, Deltarune, Steven Universe, AOT, or Skylanders, all right. As long as it's any of the series I scale for sure. Why do you not know the lore of your own character? I know the lore of my fucking character. I made the goddamn character. A debate must be heavily moderated. Just keep it... Yeah, of course. I'm going to definitely make sure, and my mods and I will definitely make sure that the debate is as civil as possible. I'm not going to just let any of the two debatees, whether they're like other mods or whether they're members of the Discord, I'm not going to like just let them talk over one another and insult one another. You know what I mean? If you have a point that you disagree with, like, it's going to be more or less just of a case of like, I'm going to make sure that like they move on from points if it takes longer than 5 minutes to get through, though. 5 to 10 minutes to get through, right? Because sometimes debates do take a while. I could debate for Infinite Speed Black Clover. I don't know if people would find that interesting, though. I would rather keep it within the realms of like stuff that could be... You know what? I'll put it like this. I'll set up for a debate. If anyone wants to try it out, I'll set up for a debate this Saturday, or probably within like the next week or so. I'll probably give some I'll probably give like some scaling here and there for some characters. Not some scaling. I'll probably give like 2 characters. Probably put them like around like the same. I'll do my best to put up like a versus battle that I personally haven't thought of. Though I'll try to see if I can get like characters to, you know, be somewhat relative in power, and then I'll give it to you guys to just find all the information, all the evidence that you guys want to use, and it'll be between you guys whether or not you guys are going to use any kind of calcs or evidence, or what kind of evidence you're willing to use. I'm willing to let people debate the way they want to debate, just like I mentioned before. Just because I don't like pixel scaling or physics-based calcs doesn't mean I'm not willing to allow somebody else to use them, especially in terms of like a debate and stuff like that, at least as long as I'm not the one debating, because I don't go off of that kind of stuff, so I just cannot agree nor deny stuff that, like, you know, anyway. So the point I'm just trying to make is that, like, I'll give you guys the opportunities to figure. I'll be the one who sets up the matchup. I'll give anyone else like the opportunity so that they can make the scaling themselves, right? That was before you. Okay. Anyone got characters with similar tiers? I was actually thinking about doing Sanji. I was thinking about doing Sanji versus maybe debating is also about regulating your emotions. It's tough. Oh, 100%, 100%. The only thing I will try to make sure is that, like, when debating, I'll leave some guidelines. I'll definitely leave like a guideline or two. I'll probably make like a small doc just saying that, like, okay, this is how I want to also. I'll basically like also make it like a little doc for the debaters so that like they know this is what I'm going. I can't speak on anyone else, but I'm going to be grading you, or at least like developing my opinion based on like XYZ, right? So like, how much evidence could you support for X claims, XYZ, you know, and then I'll just start like jotting stuff down as like you guys are going off. I like to jot things down, or at least like make mental notes of or even on my phone when people are debating or scaling stuff, because I think it's like, at the very least in my opinion, interesting to keep this stuff in mind, especially when there's like a lot to keep track of, right? And I also like to keep track of like what the point that is being made is and what people are saying, because I've noticed in a lot of debates, especially from some of like the older power scaling debates from other channels, I've noticed that like more often than not, people say one thing and then they change another. This is also one of the reasons why like I don't debate, because I'm the type of guy that like I will write down what you said just to make sure that if you backtrack on it, I make a point out of it. But anyway, that's just me. I would love to do that, Eon. I can debate for either side. I definitely want to do one with like maybe Sanji. I'm thinking about like maybe, I think like actually something that might be interesting is maybe like Kafka versus like Zoro. I think that would like an early to mid version of Zoro. Maybe like Kafka from like, what do you guys think? Would Kafka from Kaiju number 8 versus Zoro from, I don't know, Dressrosa? Would that sound interesting? I volunteer to scale and debate in favor of Bungus's arch nemesis, Gunbis. You're out here making more lore. Fuck off. Maybe post time skip Sabaody Sanji versus Minato. I would probably do pre-time skip Sabaody Sanji. I'd probably do pre-time skip Sabaody Sanji. If someone wants to do end of series Naruto Sasuke versus the Knight, I will do that. Well, I can debate for Kafka's side. Then I've scaled the entire series. Yeah, I think that like Zoro. I think like Dressrosa Zoro versus Kafka. I don't know the. I don't. I've actually haven't scaled Zoro much myself. Besides like the kid video, I think that would probably be an interesting thing. What about Kafka versus Godzilla? The thing about Godzilla is that like there's a lot of different iterations of Godzilla, so I'd have to actually figure out one that, one version of Godzilla that would be at least within like the ranges of where of where like how powerful Kafka is, right? I only have some. What the fuck is this? Did I type that up? I only have context for Kafka based on what my mods have told me, and I think that Godzilla can consistently get to like planetary, which from my understanding Kafka isn't. What about current Zoro? That's more fair and more interesting. Current Zoro? I was thinking Dressrosa Zoro because he should at least scale relative to like Luffy and the others. Or at least Luffy and the others, so approximate, and he should be stronger than someone like sure, well, we can do Wano. We can do Wano Zoro. We can do Wano Zoro. I think at least Wano Zoro is fair. I will say that it is fair for Muzan. Where would you? I haven't scaled Kafka yet. Actually, I haven't read Kaiju number 8. I've only seen like the first season. I'm gonna like sit through season 2 when it comes out, and I'll probably from there, depending on like how far into like Bleach I'm in. I'll probably start scaling that or Don to Don next. There's an argument for High Uni Eon, which we'll bring up in the debate more interesting. There's an argument for High Uni. For what? For me? Yeah. No, I'm outer versal, bro. Rob Lucci slams my guy. Alright. Anyway. I have to stop you. Oof. That was your Achilles tendon. I'm going to sever every major tendon in your body one by one because if I crush any more of your organs, you'll die. Hey, Omi, thank you for the 10. Thank you so much, man. Do you have homework folder? If so, how large is the folder? I do not have a homework folder. The only things I've got are content, which is the background stuff, extra videos, I love this video with, like, Bugs Bunny coming after that dude. No, I don't have any stuff like that. Bleach, completed videos, profiles, thumbnails. Yeah, I don't do that stuff. Like when it comes to like my laptop and like my work PC and stuff like that, I don't really wild out in any crazy shape or form. I like to keep things for work and I like to separate other things for other stuff. Kafka's building level. Season 2 is already out. Kafka for Kafka. You can make it for High Uni. That's crazy. Got you. By the way, can you get some W Omis in chat? The Lester keeps things below solar system level because the higher the tier, the more annoying scaling and debates. God forbid you debate about bound. Oh yeah, no, I don't want to do boundless characters because that just gives me a headache. You literally have an entire library of different series scalings in your server. Yeah, I do. But all of that stuff is also kind of disorganized. Godzilla, the God Butcher, Marvel Comics versus One Piece. Oh yeah, Godzilla's fucking murdering them then. So it's on your phone, understandable. I never said it was on my phone, alright? You pig. No, don't move. I told you, I don't want you to hurt any more than necessary. So please stay put. Okay, let's just finish up these chapters. What was that? Yes, I got them. Dondo Chaka, bring out Bawa Bawa. Bawa Bawa. Ugh, it's a weird name. He sends out Bawa Bawa. Did that thing come out of Don Chaka's mouth? Bawa Bawa is one of Don Chaka's combat Reishu. We never told Master Nell about them. We were afraid it might jog her memory if we told her too much about ourselves. Master didn't like to fight. She was finally removed from the cycle of combat. We didn't want to trigger her memories of battle. It was our duty to quietly protect her. But now she wants to fight, and if that's what she wants, it's our duty to help. We can't waste time on somebody like you, Xylopero. Let's go. Okay. Still resisting. You don't know when to quit. It's too bad. I thought it might be hard on me so soon after regaining this form. So I really want to use this, but praise. I'm not gonna lie. What I said yesterday about, you know what? Yeah, hey, let me just keep moving. That adult form is crazy though. I'm not gonna lie. Gamusa. We'll never escape the Gunnar allegations. I'm not trying to escape them. Y'all just out here on some bullshit. Remember when Bungus got burnt to death? Eon Horrible spinoff. It's like they didn't even read the source material. Because you're fucking alright. Out here fucking making shit up about a character I made is crazy. Out here lying. Out here fibbing and fabricating information is crazy. Me personally, I could never fabricate such information. But that's just me, though. Oh, look. Nell is a goat. There's a funny joke in there somewhere, but I don't want to get demonetized. Lanzador Verde. Green Lancer. Alright. She threw it. She threw a lance. Boom. Ooh. And the Noitora got sent flying. Oh, wow. That's a horse. You ever seen the That's My Horse clip from Edda and Eddie? No, she's a goat, dude. She has horns and everything. Look at those horns. Those are goat horns. I don't need this. I don't need this clip. I don't care about that. Alright. You can't waste time on someone like me, eh? That's bold to talk. That's bold talk. For a lowly frazione. Oh, what? What are you... What is that thing you're taking out? Alright. Kubo is a fucking perv, dude. He cut him? Cool. So how do you like that? This is my sword. Its name is Ultima. The blade shines because it's overflowing with reishi. Do you feel a kinship with me? Makes you think of yours, doesn't it? Hardly, and you don't compare yourself to me. I can hardly hear you, you gutless coward. Gutless. Is that supposed to be some kind of joke? Because my insides got smashed? Well, it's not funny. You're pretty composed for someone in your condition. You lot get him. Grab the ugly eel monster and back and throttle it. I'll crush the two down there. Alright. Eon, debating whether or not something is a horse is awfully reminiscent to me. What the fuck are you talking about? Speaking of horses, have you seen the Horse Juan meme? Horse Juan? No, I haven't. What the fuck is that? I once debated whether Earl King's Doulahan was a wolf or a horse. Turns out WH Health has a wolf. Earl King Heath has a horse. Okay. I don't know who the fuck any of those people are. This is my sword. Oh, he just has a fucking club. Oh, he's just bonking motherfuckers. Xyle Opera, do you know why you lost? Because you assumed we hadn't improved since the last time we fought. But all the time we were in Odessa, we never started training to protect Lady Nell. We're on a whole other level. Take this and perish. Behold, a new Cero we created. Cero Syncretico. That's interesting. Noitora. Did I get a message from somebody? It's not my ringtone. Okay. Hollow Purple. Oh yeah, this. Lapis tagged me in something. Oh, I should have posted this meme. Yeah, this is pretty funny. Juan Horse, that's funny. Juan Horse is crazy. That's pretty funny. No, it's over, Noitora. How do you figure? Don't worry, I'm not gonna kill you. Yeah. She's not gonna kill him. Oh no! Pop. Yeah, okay. What? And then he steps on her. You're finished. Damn. Mans is talking a lot of shit for someone who just got curb stomped by a kid. Nell grabs. Sure. Give it a up. Nelliel was your last ray of hope. It's all over now. This is the end for all of you. Tesla, take over here. They're as good as dead. Do whatever you want with them. Yes, sir. Gore them. Verruga. Armored Tusk Warrior. Holy shit, this dude got big. Isn't Verruga like a wrinkle or some shit? Oh, he broke his whole fucking foot. Ah, shh. Quiet, pet. Your job is to shut up and watch. Oh, right. Save. Your would-be savior is so much dead meat right now. Bunga survived the attempt at his life and married. How can you not know your own lore? Because he didn't. I took him behind the shed, buddy. Because he's sexist. It's crazy. Definition of plot armor. Like the idea of for a spear, but the design is so basic. Yeah, it's not bad. It's okay. I don't really. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really care for Nell's design, all things considered. Like depending on like the composition that like Kubo puts her in, or like the perspective shot, it might be like better. But overall, I don't know. But didn't it work? Why didn't it work? Because you gave me too much time. Did you really think I wouldn't recognize you because you changed your masks? Of course I did. The moment I saw you, I knew you two were Nelliel's Fracciones. That's why even as I was fighting the Quincy and the Soul Reaper, I was gauging your movements, your spiritual pressure, even your experience. Acero Syncretico, was it? That was a brilliant and devastated move, but I was expecting as much. Pesce, Guatice, Don Chaka, Bilstein. Do you know why you lost? Because you didn't use that attack the instant this fight began. Is it safe to say you're out of ideas? Well done, gentlemen. This delightful and lengthy scene can finally come to an end. Let's end it. Let's end everything. Arunero Arurie. Yeah, this is, by the way, the worst fucking kill of all time. Rukia beating this thing by stabbing it in its head when it could have just one-shot her at any point was so fucking ass. How would you rather have as your dad, Whitebeard or Shanks? Whitebeard had a lot of kids. I think, honestly, Whitebeard would probably be there more for me than Shanks would. Like, with Shanks, he has a whole-ass daughter. And then they went to see her when shit kind of, like, hit the fan. I don't know. The last of the first generation of Espadas came to a pitiful end. And as to be expected. The last of the first generation of Espadas. You didn't finish the job. Everyone's too soft. They can't be alive. They must be dead. But there's only one way to be sure, by separating their heads from their bodies. Don't worry, Aroniero. I'll clean up your mess. Okay. They're still breathing. We get extraction. Whitebeard easily. Yeah, probably Whitebeard. Gojo? Gojo's crazy. Sukuna was not nerfed. Omni, not plot armor, just bad writing since Gojo never learned his lesson about letting his guard down. Wait, what was the point? Plot armor, the reason Sukuna defeated Gojo. Plot armor, he needs to join Zoro and I for contest the Akutas. Whitebeard actually cares. I feel like Whitebeard actually does care. Begin extraction. Grab. Damn. Ichigo. Okay. Just look at you. You're as good as dead, Ichigo. Okay, there we go. Here's the big guy. Here's Kenpachi Zaraki. Cool. Time for what? Yeah, time for fucking Kenpachi, bro. Let me do this real quick. I'll do covers. Is that really you, huh? Of course. That beating you took scramble your brains. Read what Drake Cross said. Time for Ichiro. Oh, right. Oh, fucking right. Alright, that is enough of that. You got a replacement for the 20th finger. He didn't think about conserving energy. He tried to pop domain multiple times and knew he couldn't hold back against Gojo. What type of advantage? What do you mean? Yeah, that is true. Sukuna really... Well... It kind of also is strange if you were to say, like... It'd actually be a little bit weird, because you'd also have to be like, you know... He didn't have his full body against Gojo. Gojo also stated that he didn't go all out. So it's a couple of things. I think it's a couple of things. Move to Bleach. And then move to this. Rename. What is it called? Covers. And then... Okay. Right here. Yeah. Okay. We're good. Who are you? You don't feel the need to answer me? Then die, fool, run Tesla, and then he slashes him. Sure. Master Noitora, sure, sure, sure. Damn, he really got sliced in half. Could we just have a thing for redheads? Probably. Unga Bunga or a merchant arrival. Yeah, sure. If anything, Sukuna had the advantage of Maharaga and the special grade curses. Kirby from Smash Melee with 20 figures can take on Sukuna. Fair. Would you rather have as your mom Robin, Boa Hancock, Bulma, Chi-Chi, or Tsunade? Bulma. Bulma 10 times out of fucking 10. Are you kidding me? Chi-Chi's only gonna make me study. Boa, I mean, I would be Luffy's kid, technically, since there's no way she's ever having a kid with anybody else other than Luffy. Tsunade is old. I guess, which would kind of line up with me. My age, I guess. But, nah, I don't want to be Tsunade's kid. And then, Robin? No, but that's because I really like Robin, and that would be weird to have her be my mom. So fuck no. Definitely Bulma. And the biggest reason... Did I already download these? Dude, I don't even pay attention to what fucking pages I download. Next. Come on. You're next, aren't you? Anyway, yeah, Bulma, because basically she has, like, more money than everybody else on the planet combined. That woman is filthy, disgusting rich. Kinpachi, what are you doing? I thought the Soul Society was staying out of this fight. Ugh, Ichigo, move. You're in my way. You jerk. Kisuke, it was Kisuke Urahara. The old man gave him a series of orders back when the battle was about to start. One of them was to stabilize the hole called the Garganta and secure a safe route away Komuda for the captains. We were told the job would take 3 months. Urahara said he could do it in 1, but that girl over there got snatched before he could finish, so the hole was finally ready, and here's Kenpachi. Yachiru, stay out of this. Blast. Who are you? I told them I could do it alone. And then there were 4. Hey guys, you're much, but I missed the stream. Not much. I think I'm going to be done after this, though. I'm going to step out after this just because I really need to let my eyes rest for a bit. Who, may I ask, are you? Captain Retsu Nohana, 4th Company, Assistant Captain Isane Kotetsu. Captain. I suspected you were captain because of your robe. I am Zomari Ruro, the Settima Espada. Now identify yourself, intruder. Hehehe, me, what's the point in telling you anything? Our names are irrelevant. We're only one thing to you. The enemy. I see. We only came here to heal the wounded. We're not here to fight. Arankar, hehehe. Spada, hehehe. Interesting indeed. Wako Mundo is a treasure trove. I have a question for you. Did you do that? Not I, but I was about to finish her off. I see. And then Noitora swings and hits and does the thing. It's about time. What's your name, Soul Reaper? Captain Kenpachi Zaraki of the 11th Company. Quinta Spada, Noitora Gilga. Dude, this is taking forever. Shikigami. Don't quite have a grade. Yeah, I don't have grades. Is it Maho was the US so that Tsuka could bypass affinity without needing to disable his CT? Intellectual genes would come from Robin. Yes, I know I sound egotistical, but when I say it, but it's true. Ha! That's funny. Robin, only because it would explain why I'm debating Naruto stands, why red-shifted nebulas can't exist as an actual astronomer. True. We're withdrawing. What? Isane, we didn't come here to shed blood. No need to pursue them now. Let's heal Mr. Sato and the Arankar. What are you doing here? Oh, is the Quincy a friend of yours? Friend? I don't befriend inferior creatures. What? Now. Okay. Please don't quarrel in front of me. It's unseemingly. Then let me ask you again. Who are you? No, never mind. You're just a couple of insects for me to crush. Your names aren't important. Is that so? Well, actually, I do need to know your name. Okay. Why is that? Why? Isn't it obvious? I need to know how to label the specimen jar I put you in. Ah, interesting. Oh, this is pretty sick. Document, Library of Ohara, covers, there we go. Is something wrong? Aren't you going to attack? Intruder? Okay, there we go. If I may say so, reviving that fallen soul reaper would be pointless. I suggest you don't. I don't understand. Why would it be pointless? How do you do that? Gemelo Sonido. I have the fastest Sonido of all the Espada. It's a quasi doppelganger type technique. I created it by modifying the Sonido with steps. It's rather like a magic trick. Magic is meant to surprise people. Don't be ashamed for not being able to track me with your eyes. Alright, you should be ashamed for tipping your hand so soon. Okay. Okay. The Gemelo Sonido is not limited to 2 figures. I didn't think so. Hado 4, Byakurai, and it hit. The Gemelo Sonido can create up to 5 figures. Sure. Goodbye, nameless captain. You lost because you were arrogant and refused to identify yourself. Onmitsu Hoho Shiho 3, the 4 Maple Secret Steps. Utsusemi Cicada Shell. I didn't want to use a technique I learned from her. You were the arrogant one, Espada, but don't worry, arrogance isn't the reason you'll lose. You're simply outclassed. Okay. Captain Kuchiki is so mean. Did he have to use a Shunpo to disappear as soon as we got here? I told him before we left I can't do Shunpo. Sure. Arrogant. What makes you think so? You're a Soul Reaper of Captain Class. I concluded that we were of the same class and behaved accordingly. There is no arrogance on my part for wearing a Rancor. To think he's in the same class as me is the height of arrogance. And that is the height of its insolence. Very well. Then I shall reach inside you and rub it out. What the fuck, Quell? Brujeria? There is dominion in all things. Subordinates are subject to their superiors. People are subject to their kings. The clouds are subject to the winds. The moon is subject to the sun. With my brujeria, I can overpower anything I look upon. I call this power amor. You still don't understand. I sympathize. All this JJK fighting, staring up chat and family apart. I think you guys will be fine. Trash talk really is awesome. That's why I just read the manga of JJK, of course. It stated that we heal all of Gojo's rooms. Okay. Yo, CJ, I need you to relax, man. Don't crash out on people, please. Who would you rather have as your dad? Kaido, Yujiro, Hanma, Peter Griffin, or Thrag? I'd rather jump off a cliff into like a bunch of soft styrofoam or some shit, bro. I don't want any of them as my dad. Those are all terrible options. I think like Peter Griffin is unironically like the best option only because I feel like I won't be physically harmed and I feel like I'll be a lot more likable than Meg. Holy shit. Also, I feel like he'd be entertaining enough. You don't understand. I sympathize. It must be difficult. Yeah, what was he saying? Motherfuckers talk too much and just don't use their abilities. I sympathize. It must be difficult. So many things are incomprehensible for those who lack wisdom. Well, you may not understand now, but you will. Left leg, this way, please. It's pointless to resist. You can no longer control your leg. Take one step. You slash the muscles and tendons. It certainly can't move now. That was quick thinking. Very impressive in that. How about this? You move well for a man with only one good leg. You're no wonder you're a captain. You have my deepest admiration. You. Captain Kuchiki, there you are. Why did you leave me behind? I could have gotten lost. Wah, Captain Kuchiki, you got hurt. Wah, is that Mitsurukia? We have a boisterous visitor. Hanatsuro Yamada, stay back. Yes, sir. I'll get out of the way. I'll get out of your way right now. You're not in my way. You're annoying. I'll say it again. Back away as things stand. I don't think I can keep you out of this fight. Sure, I can keep you out of... Yeah, okay. Alright. But as soon as Meg started drinking, Chris became the new family punching bag, so you aren't safe. I can drink. Well, actually, I don't drink, so fuck. That's a very good point. What do you mean debating about 6? Alright, guys. I think I'm just going to leave it here. I will put together a... I'll put together a stream sometime soon to do a live debate with people. Well, to have people live debate with me. Yeah, I just lost all my energy. What the fuck? I feel tired. Holy shit. I'll leave it at that. Honestly, I'm like... Yeah, no, I'm feeling like some real physical exhaustion right now. Holy shit. Guys, thank you so much for the subs. Thank you so much for the money, honestly. Thank you for the good Bleach reading session. Thank you for the kind words. Seriously though, like you know when like from one moment to another, like you just feel like everything, holy shit. Lapis, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate you, man. What do you mean not randomly use it? He was intentionally not using it. For those of you that got a gifted member, can we get some W Lapises in chat? For those of you guys that got gifted members, be sure to check your perks. Be sure to check your perks on YouTube so you guys can join the Discord chat. And if you need to hit me up on anything, just hit me up through Discord. Wow. You guys know like that moment where like you're doing fine, you have like energy to do stuff, but then all of a sudden like it just all hits you at once? Holy shit. I guess we'll just leave it there. From what you've seen, how strong do you think Noitora is? Not much stronger than Grimmjow. Probably not that much stronger than Grimmjow, things considered. Granted, Ichigo was also like super fucking exhausted. Third time it gave me that I'm already in the Discord. I mean, hey, that's the third time you can be in the Discord, right? So it always happen when I look away. It is definitely an unfortunate state of affairs, I will definitely say. Thank you guys. Yeah, no, Coolman's just a goat. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it here, guys. Have a good rest of your evening. Thank you to everyone that donated. Thank you, Lapis and 6. I'll catch you guys all. Catch you guys all later. Holy shit! I never ended this poll, did I? Take a shower. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Bye, chat. Have a good night, everyone.